Alrighty, welcome to episode 104 of Tokwa's Ask Us Anything. As usual, it's been a pretty busy news week. Tesla's German website now shows the Plaid Model S as including a 1600 kilo Anhängerkupplung, or tow bar in English, supplied with a 2-inch square receiver which allows a multitude of customer supplied ball and accessory mounts to be attached to the car. After approval was given at Tesla's annual shareholder meeting to increase the number of authorised shares by 4 billion, Tesla have announced that it will commence trading on a 3-to-1 split adjusted basis on the 25th of August. At the annual shareholder meeting in Austin, Texas, Elon Musk has highlighted Tesla's compounding production growth by stating, "We're aiming to achieve a 2 million vehicle run rate by the end of the year. Thanks to the hard work of the Tesla team, we've already been able to achieve a 1.5 million unit annualized run rate. And depending on how the rest of this year goes, I think we might get close to, or we'll get approximately at the 1.5 million mark, and we'll be exiting the year at a 2 million unit run rate." Tesla have updated their supercharger rollout map with the addition of Lancelin and Mandurah superchargers with a Q1 2023 installation timeframe. At the same time, however, Tesla have deleted the upcoming Perth supercharger pin, which had been slated for completion in Q4 this year. The US government has passed legislation returning a US $7,500 price-capped and means-tested four-wheeled EV tax credit, which commences at the start of next year and which terminates at the end of 2032. A 30% rebate up to US $40,000 is available to qualifying commercial vehicles. Tesla has released videos showing crash testing of a new airbag fitted to the Shanghai-built Model Ys following recently completed factory upgrades. The new airbag is fitted to the driver's seatback and is designed to be deployed during side impacts. When triggered, the new airbag deploys between the front occupants and significantly reduces the likelihood of them being injured by colliding with each other. In a tweet posted just a few hours ago, Elon Musk has confirmed that the 800-kilometre long-range heavy-duty Tesla Semi will be shipping later this year. And that was this week's news. Righty, and we're back with regular programming. Now, it's a great opportunity for anyone that's new, that's joined us for the first time, to please say hello and tell us about yourself and your awesome car that you either have or you are holding an order for. So welcome anyone new. There's quite a few, so please do just interrupt and say hello.
I'll start. Hi, everybody. I'm Fabian. I came along to the meetup in Kewdale on the weekend, so I met a few of you. I've got a Model Y on order. My wife and I have a Model Y on order, and it'll hopefully be delivered soon.
Fantastic. Welcome, Fabian. And yes, it was great to see you at the casual meetup, which was at the Kewdale Hotel just a few days ago. So it's great to see you and all the other new members as well. Anyone else want to jump in after Fabian's great first effort? And the crowd roars, so that's okay. Oh, go Andrew. I see you just unmuted yourself.
Hey.
Welcome.
Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Andrew. Been watching this on YouTube for the last few weeks. Finally able to jump in live for the first time. And yeah, same. I've got a Model Y on order. Should be here soon, hopefully.
Fantastic. Standard range Model Y.
Yep.
And you've got your expected delivery date.
Yep, from the 18th, I think.
That's less than 2 weeks away.
That's it.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
How long do you think all that'll take?
2 weeks.
Really? Yeah, that's all.
Any idea when you're going to be finished here?
2 weeks.
How long will it take to put?
All right, enough of that. Awesome. So yes, there's a lot of us who have got Model Ys on order. They're getting rather itchy at the moment and working out when and which part of Fremantle Port to stalk. But we'll get into that a little bit later. Anyone else that's new that would like to say hello, if you like? Oh, Francis, welcome. You're not muted, but you don't have a microphone, so unfortunately we can't hear you. You might want to say hello in the chat or have a little fiddle with your microphone. When it does start working, just feel free to interrupt. No, not yet. And welcome back, Chuck. Charles is joining us from Tasmania, which is literally from the future. So how is the future looking, Charles?
Oh, I just thought I'd relay a few bits of news from the National AVA conference. I thought people might want to hear about what's been happening. I made the trip up across on the ferry and drove up to Canberra, so it's nice to get a bit of a road trip in.
Fantastic.
It's nice to use superchargers that aren't version 3 because that's all we've got down here. So it's first time using version 2 superchargers.
The slow ones.
Wasn't that exciting really, but yeah, that's all right. And Perth's lined up for the 2023 AVA Expo, so November next year. So
Absolutely,
guys,
I believe.
Sorry.
Sorry, apologies for that. I believe it's going to be in the first week of November, so I think that's the 3rd or 4th off the top of my head.
That sounds like what Chris Jones said. Yeah, something like that.
Which is awesome. So, frustratingly, it would have been a bit better if it was possibly early the year after, because then the WA Electric Highway would be absolutely complete. But fingers crossed, most of it will be done that you care about, which is effectively between east and west. By then, fingers crossed. And in fact, that's a great segue to an announcement we had in Western Australia today that I didn't put in the news because the announcement, it had a couple of idiosyncrasies attached to it, which have since been cleared up, which is great. So that is that JetCharge has been appointed a successful tenderer to supply chargers for the WA Electric Highway. If it sounds like I'm sort of speaking a bit weirdly, it's because originally the media report actually said, and this is I literally just copied and pasted it as soon as the announcement came out, was that they were to install 98 EV chargers. And of course that was strange because as far as we're all aware that there was a tender out to supply the chargers. So then what basically happened a few hours later was that now the wording is to provide 98 EV chargers. And there's no mention of actually installing them, although it is saying that the first charging station is expected to be installed in November this year. Excuse me. And
You got a bad cough there, Harold.
Yeah, yeah. So that's really cool. I mean, it's an incremental step. Well, it's an important step. Frustratingly, they don't say what sort of chargers are going to be installed, so we have no idea what they will be. So obviously that's something else we'll look forward to. I don't know if Russell's in the house. I think I don't see Russell. No, I don't. But I
was just going to say some speculation based on the chargers. Obviously, JetCharge and ChargeFox have a fairly close relationship. There's a bit of overlap there.
Yep.
And ChargeFox is supplying the South Australian Electric Highway.
Oh, really? So what are they supplying for that?
They're supplying ChemPower hardware.
Oh. Okay. So that's from Finland?
Finland, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so it's all speculation, of course, but that's an interesting option if that's what they decide to do for Western Australia too.
Yeah, cool. So ChemPower, they do high power chargers, because I think in the press release they say which are up to 150 kilowatts.
150. Yeah, they do modular units which allow you to share a stack of power between different posts. So,
yeah, okay. Yep.
Yeah. So they could have a 150 kilowatt unit between two posts, or 200 between two posts, or whatever they decide to do based on each site.
Well, from memory, I remember doing the map because we pulled apart the tender document and I'd inferred where the 50 kilowatt, because I'd mentioned 50 kilowatt DC chargers and 150 kilowatt DC chargers.
Yep.
And of course, we inferred that most of the 50s would go to the roadhouses because they're off-grid power. And the rest would be the 150 kilowatt chargers everywhere else. So yeah, that's interesting. That's very interesting. When is that South Australian project going to start, Chuck?
Not sure, but I think it's pretty similar to yours. So around the same time, they'll be filling in the whole state. So end of.
And have you got any confirmation yet? Because it's been rumoured, or there's debate as to whether it's going to be DC, fast DC, all the way to Border Village. Is there any further news on that, Chuck, that you know of?
I think there were a couple of sites that were still marked as AC last I checked, which were the last two before the border, unfortunately.
So that would be Ceduna would be the last DC then.
I think there was one more past Ceduna, possibly.
Oh, okay, yep.
Yeah.
Yalalta or something, or something.
Yeah, that's the next one after, I think. Yeah.
Cool.
Harold, were these DC chargers going to have an AC charger as a backup at each site, or only some?
I think on Synergy's webpage it actually said that, and we also heard this at the Synergy Technology Expo, that there would always be a backup charger, which would usually be an AC charger, except where there were, in some towns or cities, two fast DC chargers, in which case the backup would be the other DC charger.
The news tonight said there was going to be backup 240s beside.
Oh, sorry, Pete. I just lost you there for the last bit. The news said.
Sorry, it was on the news tonight how they're rolling them out, and it said there will be a 240 beside it. An AC beside it. Beside the DC charger.
Yes, but to be precise, if there are cases, I don't think there are many, to be honest, where there are two separate fast DC chargers at the same site, then there won't be an AC charger there, because that's just superfluous, because you've got a secondary fast DC charger. From the actual specs, the chargers will have dual outlets, so it can charge two cars simultaneously. And unlike, I don't know if anyone saw the news, I only saw the ABC news just a half an hour ago, and they actually showed, I think it was Mark McGowan it was someone else plugging in in fact, I've got it right here, courtesy of Facebook. So if you look closely, this is a Chatamo plug, and this is a FEV. So there will be no Chatamo plugs provided as part of this this rollout. They are going to be strictly.
That's at UWA, is it?
It was at UWA, and it was sort of interesting because you saw the tritium charger behind, which could be a clue as to what the charger might be, or that might just be a coincidence, or whatever, incidental. I do have at least Synergy on their website. When they had the announcement, they actually have got the correct plug, which is good on them for being correct.
It's a better photo as well.
It's a better photo, and this one. Actually, this website also, I did check this earlier as well, and it did initially say install, but now it says provide again. So obviously there was an initial mistake made with the media announcement.
One thing that's disappointing is that the announcements now seem to say completed by 2024, whereas previously the terminology was always by January 2024.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to grab the EV Highway, and hopefully Synergy's website's going to search this properly. It's very slow. But the website did state, I'm pretty sure it was January 2024 for completion. So it's not just next year, it's basically January next year. I just got to Google it because unfortunately Synergy's site's a little bit slow to search.
Harold, I just saw it. It is on the EV map page. If you scroll down, there's a few questions there, and it says when are the charging stations being installed, and it comes up saying January 2024 is expected to be finished by then.
Yeah, cool. I'm just
and even at that Synergy Expo that they did for Tokwa and AIVA, they had January 2024, and that was only a few weeks ago. 3-4 weeks ago, something like that.
Here it is there at the bottom, FAQ, when are they being installed? January, fully operational, January 2024.
Yeah. Do you want to just put that up so everyone can see it, Harold?
Oh, that is up, isn't it? Sorry.
Nope, can't see it.
Oh, apologies. Sorry, I had the wrong thing. Sorry. Yeah, January 20. Here it is. Here, January 2024.
Yep.
Let's see if I've updated the tender. No. So, but hopefully they will. If and when Russell comes on, we'll try and get him because he's the tender guru. Because I presume that most of these tenders, I'll eventually publish the contract that's associated with it, and then we can get some more details, perhaps on the charging equipment and other things. But anyway, we'll do that a bit later on. Is anyone new still that hasn't said hello yet and would like to? Certainly, please say hello now.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Yes, Francis.
Yeah,
Welcome.
Mike, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I placed an order for Model Y, so should be coming in probably at the end of the month. That's what I see on my app. So hopefully, and try to learn a bit more from the club, and hopefully, yeah, get to enjoy the car. Thank you.
Fantastic, and welcome. You could say there's a lot to learn, but the great thing is you can learn all these things incrementally.
Yep.
I mean, I've had my Model X since early 2017, and there's still things I'm learning almost every week. And some of those are really surprising because they're super simple, and almost everyone else knows it, but I don't. So we're all learning on this journey. So and that's a great fun, actually finding out new things about your car.
Yeah.
So, but the one thing to learn is that the delivery process will be nice and quick. So if you're sort of eager to basically get in your car and drive off into the sunset, then that's something that Tesla will eagerly assist you in doing. But equally, if you've got any detailed questions, they're happy to answer them as well. But a forum like this is the perfect place to scratch all those itches that you've been thinking of with your car. So for instance, just off the top of my head, don't worry about charging equipment or any of that sort of stuff initially. In the boot of your car, you'll get a UMC, which is a mobile connector, a mobile charger, and you can just plug it into your 10 amp outlet at your home. And that'll add over 100 kilometers of range to your car just overnight. So
we should emphasize that will most likely, or that will be the case with Francis's order, but with the orders, with anyone ordering Model Y now, you'll no longer get the UMC or the mobile connector. But you can purchase it at a heavily discounted price of $550 now.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. So all of the cars coming at the moment are definitely coming with the UMC. I think it was only if you had ordered a car from about 3 weeks ago, which I don't think anyone in this room would be in that situation, or should I say, not in that situation with a car coming anytime soon.
I think
all
it was
those cars.
7th of July. After that, it wasn't included.
Yeah, I think that rings a bell. It was in one of our previous episodes, but I just don't watch the Ask Us Anything episodes. I don't beat myself up to, unlike some brave people here that do.
There were 2 dates going around, early July and the 21st of July.
I think that actually rings a bigger bell than...
Yeah, I heard it was the 21st, but then I also heard recently that someone said it was the 7th. So I don't know which one it is.
No, I actually think it was the 21st. Or the 20th or the 21st.
It was the US first, then us.
Yes. But regardless, I think one frustrating thing is on the New Zealand website, it actually has a checkbox for you to select a charger while you're ordering the car, and also the high power wall connector, which is the big AC charger, the high power version, which is not portable. And that's on the New Zealand website, but the Australian website omitted that. So you had to sort of learn about it later, I guess, from your sales advisor. But a little bit later on, when we've got nothing much else to do, I'll dig out when that date exactly was. But it was in the last month.
So I've had a look at some of my notes, and it was on the 7th of July that it was announced, or that it changed on the website at least.
For Australia.
For Australia.
Cool. Okay, well, it would have been the subsequent Ask Us Anything that we mentioned that in.
Yeah, it was the 7th because we went into the Tesla storeroom that day, and he told us. Well, I actually told him. I said, "Oh yeah, I heard that it's not included anymore," and I've got it in my calendar that we were in the Tesla storeroom on the 7th. So definitely was that.
That's definitely something worth diarising.
Yeah. Well,
just one tip with the UMCs is to check when you pick up your Model Y. You can look in between the prongs to see if it's an 8 amp and a 10 amp pigtail, or as it's supposed to be, whether it's the proper 10 amp and 15 amp. So I've actually purchased one from the website, and yeah, it was the 8 and the 10 amp, and I tried to do everything I could with the car to see if it would recalibrate, and just wouldn't. So then I purchased another one because they gave me a authorization order to send it back. And guess what? The second one was an 8 and a 12 amp.
Actually, sorry to correct you there. Yes, you got it right the second time. Yeah, 8 and 12. Previously, you said 8 and 10. So to be clear, it should be
8 for the 10 amp one and 12 for the 15 amp one. Yep.
Exactly. So what you should get, and what you will almost 100% get with your car, because that's coming straight from China and they'll get it right, is a 10 amp AC plug and a 15 amp, colloquially called like a caravan type plug, with your car, and they'll be marked, like Pete said, between the two pins. It'll say 10 on one and 15 on the other. Frustratingly, it seems that Tesla at their local warehouse in Australia have got old stock, which were mistakenly marked and specified, and because of that, they can't be upgraded via software, because otherwise they'll violate their markings. So, Pete, I guess you're going to have to send another one back. And I'm
hoping to book an appointment with the service centre, because I have checked with the service centre. They do have the right ones. They have the ones that they have, or at least the ones that they checked, were the 10 and 15. But yeah, I have to get authorization from Tesla main office for that. So just waiting for that. Hopefully that will come in the next couple of days.
And then hopefully with two strikes, they'll just swap it over locally rather than having to get a third strike. And that would be embarrassing.
Yeah.
Cool. I think that's all the news.
Elon sold some shares.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. That's right. I guess that's news. I mean, well, it is news. Elon sold $6 billion US of shares, roughly, and it seems that that's part of the final process of buying Twitter. And he basically stated that he's done that so that, oh God, Twitter. He's done it so that if he is forced to buy Twitter, he will have the money ready to complete that deal as and when he's told to buy it, as opposed to having to sell Tesla shares at short notice, let's just say at the end of October, which is always a fraught process. So he's basically clearing the decks now. He also did say, and I sort of left it out of the news because it's a little bit frustrating, but his newest Twitter offer is that he is perfectly happy to pay the full $54.20 per share, which is $40-odd billion US, provided that Twitter openly explain the process that they use to work out the proportion of fake accounts, and that they can demonstrate that proportion is basically that they claim is true. And if they can prove that, which is like saying, well, it's unprovable. So anyway, I don't know what that really means for Elon Musk and Twitter. You know, they're not going to be able to prove it, so then he's just not going to go through with the purchase unless the Delaware judge in the court case orders him to do so.
There was another clause to that contract too, Harold. He also wants to be able to use his flybys because he'll get a few points with that purchase. I think he's 40 billion points. He could probably get a flight to Tasmania with Qantas.
He could probably get a flight to Mars and back.
Exactly.
Actually, for $44 billion, I reckon you could probably build an aeroplane or a rocket to get to Mars for that sort of money.
That's a lot of money. Yeah, that's pretty good.
It is.
What's the?
You reckon you could get a tan? Maybe you get one of those all over tans, because he was looking pretty pasty on the back of that boat that he was in the Greek Isles, or where he was.
Wasn't the most flattering look, was it?
Well, he works
inside.
I did dig that out a few episodes ago, but that was a bit later in the evening, so we don't want to scare the kiddies that are watching the early part of the program.
Yeah, that was pretty. But I mean, next to Mr. Packer, I mean, now you're talking. This pasty look didn't look as good as Mr. Packer.
Oh, what about next to Putin?
Oh, yeah, on the back of the horse.
Well, when are they going to have a sparring boxing match?
Well, that would have been
that was to work out who was going to get Ukraine, wasn't it? I think he sort of said, let's just sort it out in the boxing ring.
That's what they should have done.
Anyway. Alrighty, so has anyone got any questions or queries or other bits of news to mention?
Is Jo making sandwiches already, or just want to lunch? What's for lunch tomorrow?
No, she's not. Not at the moment. I'm working.
Oh, okay.
It's too early for sandwiches.
It's a bit early. We've got to finish my work first.
You're like an hour early, man.
Yeah, well, get excited. I thought there might be something new in the lunchbox, maybe,
There's plenty of Tesla stuff to talk about first before my sandwiches.
And speaking of which, sorry, John Edwards has actually got something interesting about his charge port, which, go, John.
So I was been having a bit of intermittent trouble charging the car. Basically on lots of different sort of DC chargers mainly. So I booked it into Tesla, and surprisingly they had the parts and they changed it out in no time. And am I able to share the screen? Can I show you this?
Yes, you are. Absolutely.
Yeah. Shock horror, they had the parts.
So,
oh yes,
$520 for that.
Wow, that's cheap.
That's cheap as chips. I mean, there's a fair bit of shit in there.
Wow. Yeah.
And all it was actually I could find was the little short communication pin.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's the control pilot. Yep.
Yeah. Well, when I measured the depth of that on the one they came out, this one they took out, and the new one, there was 1 millimeter. There was 1 millimeter shorter.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's probably all that was wrong with it. So there you go. That's but yeah, all the parts I bought have been pretty reasonably priced, so I can't complain.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was that fitted as well? 550?
Oh no, it was a bit of that was just the parts. There was a bit of labor on top of that, but it was just on $1,000, including the new flap, the cable, and everything fitted was just on $1,000.
Still good.
Still pretty good, yeah.
So, John, do you think that pin was pushed in, with usage, or do you think it was always like that?
I don't know. I don't know how it'll get pushed in. It doesn't look like it's moved at all. It might just be a manufacturing tolerance.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's not on all. Most of the tritium, what are they? Phoenix contacts plugs never had a problem, but it's some of the cheaper Chinese DC charging plugs that I'm using are the ones that have intermittent trouble. So,
is it tighter, John, as well? Because I know your Model 3 was a bit loose. Does it feel nicer when you plug it in?
A little bit. Now that's a little bit sensitive.
Oh look, John's an open-minded gentleman.
Oh yeah, no, but when he gets a bit older, things do become a little bit looser and stuff. But
how do you unshare the screen?
Oh, just say stop sharing. I can probably undo it if actually.
I can't see I can't see the unshare.
That's okay. Yeah, fixed it.
There you go.
So So is it actually tighter, John? Because I know you had that slack in it, and you were trying to use interesting.
Yeah, I only got it done on Monday, and I haven't had a chance to do it. But I'll be checking out all the different plugs to see how it fits.
Yeah, cool.
It's such a charge.
Awesome. Awesome.
It's crazy.
Such a charge.
Anyway, there's more double entendres than John Hamlin on Play School.
I think right now we should look at setting up a GoFundMe page for John Edwards, maybe just to get a light bulb in his house so he can have a bit of light when he's on. I think we just start with a light bulb, and then we'll see if we can get $500 together to buy some parts for him.
Fucking cold in here, I tell you.
He's got no power.
Go sit in your car.
Let's put some money together. I'll put $100 in right now.
Okay.
John's already got
let's get it up to 500 before the end of the show, eh?
Hey, Jared, John's already got a GoFundMe page.
Which one's that one?
Yeah, the Chufter one.
Oh,
no, that's all shut. That's all.
Is that shut down?
It's all finished.
Oh, I was chucking money in
when
there
it's
every now and again.
Tighten my bits up page. Get my bits tighter.
Oh dear.
That's actually
Harold.
Yes,
what about the ships that are coming in with our Model Ys?
Sorry, I thought you said something else. When does the ship land? Full disclosure, I've got I'm a subscriber to Vita Prime's Discord, so I'd rather just you say what's happening from what you've heard in general parlance than me say anything right now.
Well, there's a ship coming in from Melbourne called the Tom Barra, which comes in on the 13th, and then we've got the Thermopylae on the 16th. And they're still coming in on those times.
You don't have to worry, Nigel. Harold will be out there in a tugboat and escorting that boat in, making sure those boats get to port.
Actually, the Tom Barra is actually due to arrive at 1 a.m. on the 13th.
Is your car on it?
And I can guarantee Harold
will be there
tying that boat into the port. He'll be there handling the rope.
No one knows. No one knows.
All right.
You're going to find out on Saturday. My issue is that I'm going to the Camfield, full disclosure, on Friday at lunchtime, and we'll have quite a few pints, so I'll be nursing a bit of a hangover in the morning. So, but I will do my best to get to Freo Port with the drone on the correct side of the railway tracks and have a look. And it'll be awesome to see if there are Teslas on it. And that's entirely plausible. On the other hand, it's also equally plausible that they'll be on the Thermopylae, which is due on the 16th of August.
At 4 a.m.
Yeah, has that changed though lately, Nigel? Because the Tom Barra has actually changed a few times, which means it's more accurate, because it's kind of what I've learnt with looking at ships is they change their schedules all the time, like continually change their schedule.
No, it's still 4 a.m. on the 16th.
So it might be a placeholder more than anything else at this stage.
Yeah.
So that could slip.
And you're starting work, Harold, on the docks, part of the stevedores, unloading of the boats, unloading the cars.
Well, yes. What's this? This is
that'd be cool.
Tesla Rati.
So
yes,
yeah. Did you cover this? I can't remember. Did you cover this in the news or not? But
no, I didn't, to be honest, because I covered it last week, saying that deliveries were starting at the end of last week, and they clearly have.
Yeah, cool.
But that's pretty cool, yeah. And there's only quite a few cars being delivered at a great rate of knots, which is awesome to see.
Yep, awesome.
Go on. Sorry. Who was that? No.
I was going to say, I've actually even somehow convinced Leonie that we're going to go camping in her Model Y. So
why?
The first night, boom, boom, and to trial it as soon as we've got it that night, we're going to camp in at our own place.
Why?
because she wants to see if sleeping in it's all right. And I went, okay, no worries.
It's not a caravan.
I know.
You're getting confused with Pete Petrosky, around Australia with Pete in a caravan.
I was saying it's a good idea. You could go there, go to a powered tent site or something, and
absolutely.
Don't have to do anything.
So how are all your purchases going there, Paul? Have you...
Yeah, good. Yeah, the next few. Oh, there's that tray. Where's how's that? Can you see it? No. They're good TV. Oh, fuck it. I've got one of those trays that gets on the
Kitty. So got
steering wheel.
Funny warnings.
Oh yeah, F it. That came today, but yeah, I've had a few others of Leonie's rocked up, so I've got a nice little pile in the study.
Hey Paul, how heavy is that that desk that goes onto the steering wheel that you got there?
Is it?
So I've ordered one.
It's not very heavy. How do you
I've
get
ordered
this
a
thing off?
simple one, not that tight, but it's the one
There
that
you
I
go.
ordered fairly heavy. Oh,
There you
that
go.
looks good tight. Yeah.
Oh, is that so you can put your iPad on it and watch movies while you're driving down the highway?
No, but when you're stopped, yes. But yeah, I've
When the
put
car's driving.
some sort of stuff on there just to protect the steering wheel as well. So yeah.
Rightio.
Is that the Tesseries one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was looking at getting that. Yeah.
What is it? $25 or something?
That's ridiculous.
I thought it was close to 50. Anyway.
Was it? I don't know. I've
All a
spent
blur because
yeah, the
you're
amount of money.
washing it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, can I jump in for a sec?
Yeah,
good
go
evening,
for it,
everyone.
Yes.
I was wondering if you've all seen that picture of the Prime Mover on its side with all the bloody Model Ys on their side.
Yeah, I did. And all strapped in.
I shared it to the Facebook page today,
Yeah,
but
I
no
saw
one's
it.
approved it yet.
Yeah, I did. I saw it.
Oh, did it come up? Did it, Jared?
Yeah, it did. And they all look like they're still sitting on the trailer. But
Yeah,
they're not
on
on
the
the road.
its
They're like
side.
strapped to the trailer.
Was that in Australia or was that somewhere
No,
else?
the US.
Oh.
It's US, is it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
US.
it's hard to tell, but that road sign behind it looks Australian, but Jared, but yeah, who
I know,
knows?
it was
I don't know.
definitely US.
Yeah.
I was amazed how the cars were still sitting on the trailer. The trailer's on the side. And they're suspended.
strapped down good.
Yeah, must have strapped it down very well.
What about anyone see the BY? There was a BYD that caught fire this week.
Oh,
Hey,
No.
Jared, do you want to put it up in here just for anyone that hasn't seen it, if they want to see it?
I don't have it anymore. I don't know. It wasn't on my phone.
I'll
was
send
on
it
my
to you.
work. All right.
I'll send it to you.
I'll try and find it if it's on Facebook just momentarily.
Yes, Joe, that steering wheel tray is $27.35 on Tesseries.
Oh, you can get it on
it's
Alibaba for $6,
something
Joe.
different then, because look at what I just posted in the group, $75.
Oh, jeez. Oh, you shelled out.
No, I haven't bought it. I was just looking. That's but that's the Tesseries. That's the Tesseries desk thing. So different.
Pete bought the 3-burner barbecue attachment for the back door. Have you guys got that one? The 3-burner with it.
It's
also got a wok holder. It holds a wok on the side.
It's all right. We're just ignoring Jared.
Jared, it must have been on top with it. You saw it because I still haven't had a notification that it's been approved. Sorry, Joe.
That's all right.
Oh, no, it's good.
No, we interrupted you, Damon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I definitely saw it.
It's nothing on the Facebook Top Quirk site.
Yeah, that's where I posted it, Nige, but no one.
Well, have you got a link?
Have
you got a link
have
to it?
approved it. Hint, Harold.
There's nothing there awaiting approval, Damo.
I don't use Facebook, to be perfectly honest. I'm a bit busy doing a small TV program.
Yeah, I understand, Harold. I was joking, but yeah, if one of the admins approves it, then yeah, it should pop up.
It might have been thought of as being a bit clickbaity because, to be brutally honest, who cares if 10 Teslas bin it in a car accident? These things happen all the time. Unfortunately, I think the problem is sometimes these things get misconstrued, and the Tesla Q people, the people that, and by the way, Tesla Q means when a company goes broke, they put the Q at the end of its ticker, its initials, and that indicates it's broke. So it's the kind of clickbaity stuff that people love to see. Just like when, 1 in a million Teslas catches fire, even though 500 ice cars caught fire the same day. It's got to it bleeds, but
but you should have seen.
I haven't seen it demo because I haven't. To be honest, I don't use the Facebook very much at all.
Yeah, that's all good, Harold. I understand.
It was pretty amazing though. They were still sitting on the trailer, Harold. They hadn't fallen off the trailer. They were actually strapped to the trailer. It was amazing.
Well, safety first,
mate. It's not like clickbait or like a link or whatever, Harold.
No, that's cool. You got a hit. Is that Lee just sent something? Let's have a little look. Oh no, that's a laptop. Oh, that's a wood one. That's very nice. Sorry, just to be a little bit distracted. There's a nice. Whoops. There's a nice wooden one.
Yeah, that's more the old people. That's more nice.
That's like a TV dinner type.
Yeah, that looks like it.
I think it's called the nursing home special. That one. Isn't it?
I don't know.
Why's the steering wheel upside down?
Yeah, that's a bit disturbing.
Might be bamboo, I think, that one. I'm sure.
Some of the people shouldn't be driving.
Yeah, I looked at them, but they were pretty expensive.
How are you supposed to go down the highway with it turned like that? You're going to keep going around in circles. That's a bit awkward.
That explains
doing donuts.
People driving that shouldn't be driving.
Yeah, that $18 one looks fine. It's probably gone down in price or something.
Anyway, Pete Petrovski's 3-burner barbecue with the wok on the back of the car is going to be amazing. Learn away that Barbie.
Well, something that Tesla is going to get in a few years, which is pretty amazing, is this.
All work the same. You step on the pedal and it's connected to a master cylinder that pushes hydraulic fluid to brake cylinders that are located at all 4 wheels. When you step on the pedal, the brake pads on all 4 wheels activate at the same time. But the new Brembo system, which they call Sensify, controls the braking at each wheel independently. And that's a whole new ball game, especially when it comes to emergency braking, and even more so when it's on wet or slippery surfaces. Here's how it works. When you press on the brake pedal, there's no mechanical connection to the brakes at all. Instead, the brake pedal module sends electronic signals to a brake control unit or a computer. And that in turn sends signals to hydraulic actuators that pump fluid to the calipers, and that in turn activates the brake pistons. That's the fully hydraulic version of the system. But automakers can choose to do away with hydraulics altogether and use electric motors to actuate the brakes. In this version, the brake control unit sends signals to electric motors that activate the pistons in the calipers. Or automakers can even choose to use a combination of hydraulic and electric actuation, say with hydraulics on the front and electric on the rear. If it's hydraulic, Brembo calls it a wet system. If it's electric, it calls it dry. Brembo is offering these different combinations because the best application depends on what kind of vehicle it goes on. Hydraulics are probably best suited for big, heavy SUVs, but low-speed or commercial vehicles will probably go dry. And other applications will be a combination of wet and dry. Sports cars and high-performance cars will probably use a wet system, because with a dry system, the electric actuators add more unsprung weight to each wheel, and that detracts from the ride and handling. But I'm also told that over time, those electric actuators will become light enough that even hypercars will probably go with the dry system. Brembo allowed us to test drive the system at Michelin's Proving Grounds in North Carolina, and the results were spectacular. Interestingly, Brembo used Tesla dual-motor Model 3s for the test, because Brembo says that car comes with one of the best braking systems available. And by the way, if you don't know it, Tesla uses Brembo brakes on its cars. But as good as what Tesla has today is, the new Sensify system is clearly superior. First off, we did a 50-mile-an-hour slam on the brake test on a dry and wet surface. The ABS system on the Model 3s with the standard brakes made a lot of noise. The pedal pulsated, and the steering wheel twitched ever so slightly. But with the same test in a Model 3 with Brembo's Sensify brakes, it was quiet and smooth. No pedal pulsing, no noise, no tire twitch. You just slam on the brakes and bring the car to a stop. Brembo says it takes about 180 milliseconds to completely lock the brakes with today's system, but only 100 milliseconds with Sensify. Then we went to another part of the proving grounds to do high-speed brake tests while cornering. With the standard brakes, it was the same story. Lots of brake pedal pulsing, lots of noise, and in this case, some understeer as well. But with Sensify, all of that goes away. It's quiet, smooth, and totally predictable. It makes an emergency slam on the brake stop feel like a normal braking maneuver. And
it goes on a little bit further, but we can.
Hey Harold,
that later
was that
on.
Richard? Was that Richard Cooper's brother?
I think so. Yes. He's got a very pleasant voice, very calming and
soothing.
Very soothing. And that was actually the Autoline network. So on YouTube there, he's having a little sleep at the moment, having a rest. That's courtesy of Autoline. But that is some technology that will be coming, no doubt, to Tesla sometime soon, next couple of years or so, which is pretty interesting. Okay, so we've got YouTube videos of the accessory fold out.
Got my seat all the way back, and
that sounded like.
Hey, Harold, that airbag sounds really good. The airbag in the center.
I'm sitting, fairly upright, and there's quite a bit of room between myself and the table. So that's probably about, probably about a hand width, like person. May also need to lift the steering column up a little bit if you like having it. You want all the way back to your body, so you've got that much room there. Once you've got the seat back.
That's not quite the same thing, but anyway. Sorry, yes, Jared?
Oh, just like that new airbag deploy in the middle.
For the Model Y, yeah.
Yeah, so if you're having a fight with your partner, you can always push the airbag in the center and just poof, she's off.
Yes, I'm going to try and find that video again because
really
I put it in the news. It sort of is embedded. Let me just find it.
But Harold, to clarify while you're looking for it, that's not going to be on the Model Ys, that will be on the ships now. That's once, it's for cars being manufactured from now on, effectively, just after the upgrade, correct?
I think so, yes. I think so. Here we go. Here's the clip.
That center airbag looks very good.
So you can actually see it.
It is.
It actually
comes out of the driver's.
It comes out the driver's. This hasn't got very good notching, but it basically comes out of the side of the driver's seat or the back of it. And yeah, so the other passenger there doesn't slap into them, basically, which is pretty cool.
Wow.
It's just another airbag. This thing's full of airbags.
Well, if you weren't deaf before, you would be after that.
Yeah. So it also probably means don't put your arm on the armrest, even though that's what it's called. But anyway, there you go.
Look, those dummies weren't injured, were they, Harold?
No dummies were injured in the course of this. I dare say the car was, unfortunately. In fact, it was probably written off and recycled. But I did forget one piece of news. Anyway, I'll find it because it's actually really important. Because in Germany, winter is coming.
Oh, what's the tow bar called again? It's Schneisenhausen. Schistenhausen?
No,
no.
Was it? I know.
Schneisen. As Schneisenhausen. Tow bar.
I don't know.
Come on, Paul.
I can't speak German, so.
Schnitten with the Wiener Schnitzel.
No, it's like Anna Kuppelen or some shit. I don't know.
Anna Kuppelen. Oh, yes.
Oh, there you go.
I'm going to connect my Anna Kuppelen. Is that something to do with John Edwards' thing being short, being loose?
It's this thing here.
Is Anna Kuppelen?
How do you say that?
Anna Kuppelen plugin.
Anhängerkupplung.
Oh, thank you, German.
Anhängerkupplung. Because of the umlaut, it's the it's not an A, it's an E. Anhängerkupplung.
Anhängerkupplung.
Anhängerkupplung. Now we just insulted all the German-speaking people in.
Sorry, Germans.
Sorry, Germany.
And Austria too, and some of the Swiss as well.
Swiss.
And some people that live in Trieste. That's in Italy.
Yes.
Yeah, so the unhanger kupplung. What's interesting is it on the website, it doesn't show it as being an accessory. It's fully implying that it comes with the car, and it's basically in the same format as the Model Y tow hitch, which is just the 2-inch receiver that's behind a plastic panel. So
I think Richard Chapman had some problems with his Anna Kluplin recently. He had to go get it checked out because it was a bit loose. So he wants to tell us about it, but
I was concerned about mine because towing around the shark fin was a bit stressful, which is why I'm really glad to hear that the Model Y tow hitch is basically permanently attached to the car, as opposed to the Bosal link, which is like a quarter turn just to release it. But yeah, it's all good. So the thing that was interesting, and this is courtesy, and I haven't quite found it yet, so I'm going to have to do a bit of a long preamble, was we all know that Europe is, well, winter is coming in Europe, and it looks set to have some severe gas restrictions, natural gas restrictions, which is being exacerbated by the fact that Germany has shut down a couple of its nuclear power plants already, and they've got 2 others, I think, that are due to be shut down by the end of this year. Hopefully for Germany's sake, they won't be yet. But basically, this is a video from... it's a loud video. From Tobias Lind. And this... And I meant to make this as a news item because it is actually quite important. This demonstrates that what Tesla is doing is basically stockpiling castings. And I forget what I asked my mate Jason Stanley what these things, they've got separators and they're actually called something, I think it's starting with letter C, but it's not a pallet, it's actually to effectively separate the items so they don't mash up against each other. And this video basically shows, whoops, that there's a lot of them. And these aren't all of them. There are other, like they're basically stacking them outside wherever they can find space. Wow. And I think this is the best thing that Tesla can do, is to make as many of these as possible, so that there's actually some more over here as well. So there's picking lumps of road just to put lots and lots of castings, and that's basically because. If there are gas restrictions, then everyone will be restricted, and Tesla will be put on a calorie restriction, basically, diet of natural gas. I do recall Talking Tesla actually tweeted to Munro and Associates to ask them whether Tesla could run their furnaces on electricity, and of course the clear answer to that is yes. It's probably likely that they might try and do like a dual energy source where they might use electric heat to augment the furnaces, but still use gas. But anything they can...
I don't understand why Berlin was built with any gas in mind. Sorry, I don't understand why it was built with any gas in mind in the first place, because I'm pretty sure Gigafactory 1 is some of the engineers wanted to use a bit of gas, and Musk was insistent, no, we won't use any. So I'm surprised why Berlin would even have a gas supply.
Well, it's funny.
They've had one for about 80 years.
No. Well, the Berlin Gigafactory definitely is gas powered for the furnaces, and so too is Giga Texas. So at Austin.
Yeah, right.
Because while they were commissioning the die cast machines, the Giga casting machines, they actually had a couple of tankers of LNG outside the factory, and so too in Germany. I mean, that's an alternative, is if Tesla can try and get some LNG shipments, but I mean, the whole, all of Europe is trying to do that now in a hurry, and it's just not easy to do because all of these are long-term contracts. So, none of the natural gas that we produce in the Northwest will be going to Europe because it's all been, it's all going to Japan and Korea and other countries. So it's hard to get. But I think, there is a chance they can maybe retrofit at least 1 or 2 furnaces to at least use some electricity to help out the effort, because otherwise Tesla will have to restrict production.
I'm just surprised that they even built that into the design.
I think gas is a cheap energy source, Richard. That's the thing.
For how long, and how long is it going to be available?
Yeah, well, as you can see with Tesla, basically stockpiling castings. I think they're doing their best to make as many as they can while the sun shines.
Oh, it absolutely makes, it's very wise, but it just puzzles me, because surely Tesla's mission is sustainable energy. So that came as a surprise.
Yep. Yeah, it is what it is. But I guess, if anyone can retrofit something, they will. And even if it's just to augment the power, that would be a great achievement. But I think even Europe will be short on electricity for that matter as well, because a lot of that's produced by natural gas, which will be in short supply in winter.
I know the most about the UK for obvious reasons, but it's completely shut down all its coal-fired generation almost entirely, but has just moved entirely to gas. So
I know, and it's not great for the environment to sort of say things like, well, maybe you should unmothball your coal-fired power stations just for now, but you've got to get energy from somewhere, otherwise you're going to get cold really quickly. And you're right, Richard. I mean, every house in England has got a furnace, like in the States. They've got central heating that's gas powered, gas fueled.
I moved my mum's house and another house off of gas, 2014. But yeah, it was so rare. I mean, like, the guy that came around to disconnect the gas was just baffled. And I've been getting quotes. Well, trying to get quotes to get an air source heat pump. So here's the crazy thing: in the UK at the moment, you can get a £5,000 grant from the government to convert your even rentals onto an air source heat pump. But even one of the quotes I tried to get, the guy was like, "Oh no, you don't want to do that. It will cost you more." And he's someone that his job is to go and install air source heat pumps, and he's trying to put me off. Just insane.
It's no different to dealers that aren't interested in selling EVs.
Yeah, it's exactly the same. I guess the problem is, though, that now you've got this looming thing happening. The demand for air source heat pumps is off the Richter scale. So even if you want one, it might even be difficult.
Yes, as so many other things are in short supply. Now, what's not in short supply in the US is money. And obviously, I did do a very brief thing in the news to describe the new EV tax credit. I think, what did I say in the bottom bar? I think I said well-deserved credit. It should also be mixed credit, because frustratingly, plug-in FEVs that have a battery as small as 7 kilowatt hours qualify for the same credit. So it's basically literally the methadone that the ICE car manufacturers are going to use for the next 10 years to continue to pump out plug-in hybrid electric vehicles. Well, they're not even EVs, they're just ICE cars with tiny motors and tiny batteries. And it only has to be a 7 kilowatt hour battery to get the full $7,500 credit, unfortunately.
And that 7 kilowatt hour battery will cost the manufacturers $2,000. So they'll receive $7,500 for a $2,000 accessory, effectively.
It's super frustrating. It really is. It is just super frustrating. I'm going to try and find that there is some good news though. I did mention that commercial vehicles, mainly heavy commercial vehicles, can get up to 40,000
Oh, wow.
40,000 US dollars or a 30% rebate.
Wow, that's incredible.
Which is awesome. Now,
Harold, does that's 7 kilowatt hour battery, does that have to be a plug-in hybrid? Do you know?
Oh, I don't. The correct answer is I don't know. I just can't imagine you would produce an EV, a battery EV, with only 7 kilowatt hours, unless it was like an Akimoto, whatever it is. But mind you,
no, that doesn't.
It doesn't qualify because you notice I had that tortured long phrase of means tested, price limited, and 4-wheel EVs. So it's specifically, it says that the only qualifying EV is one that's got at least 4 wheels. So it eliminates motorbikes and trikes,
Yeah.
I guess.
I guess where I'm going with it is that, yeah, if you're just buying it for a fleet, they won't care. That'll never get charged by electric. But if it's someone at home, let's say that 2 kilowatt hours is being kept in reserve, so 5 kilowatt hours, so I could do 25 Ks on that. So for a short commute, maybe they would get used.
In Europe, they're changing the standards because they'd worked out that the true behaviour of someone that owns a FEV is it usually just drinks petrol most of the time for most of the kilometres it'll drive.
Yeah, they took away the ability for businesses to do that because it was, yeah, exactly that. They were just milking the system.
So as far as the EV credit goes, just for completeness, they have what they call vans, so that you've got price limits. So it's 80,000 US dollars for a van. SUV, which this includes the Model Y. It includes the Model X, but the Model X is actually dearer than 80,000 US dollars. But all of the versions of the Model Y do qualify. And you've also got the others, which is sedans, and that's the Model 3. And again, that does qualify. And you've got pickup trucks, which the Cybertruck will also, some versions of the Cybertruck will qualify as well, which is pretty cool. And then I'll try and find the piece on... now the other thing too is there's a few requirements. They have to actually source a certain percentage of battery minerals from free trade countries, or those that have free trade agreements with the US. And you can see clearly that China is not listed in this because they do not have a free trade agreement. And the percents required are 2023, 40%, going up to 2027, 80%. Have to be content sourced from the free trade countries, or the US for that matter.
This is fantastic for Australia.
Shit, yeah.
Well, we're at the head of the queue. There we go. We're even beat out Austria. We're even ahead of Austria because they're not listed. So now you've also got there is some other stipulation as well, which the battery components also have to be manufactured or assembled in North America, and they have percentages required there. But this is assembled, so that's including Canada and Mexico, and that was at the behest of the ICE manufacturers, GM, I think it was, because they got a big plant in Mexico. And I think a little bit further on, by the way, this is from Tesla Daily. This is Rob Maurer's excellent podcast or YouTube channel. You've got the highlight there, which has at least 4 wheels. And it can't include one that's exclusively running on rails or on rail or rails. So trains are excluded. And I think the last bit, it does have this Tesla Semi, but I don't have that instantly available. But it's, like I said, it's about $40,000, which is huge, up to, or 30% up to $40,000. And we obviously heard in the news that Elon Musk has said that the long-range Semi is going to come out by the end of this year. So I guess logically it probably will just be produced at the end of the year and delivered at the 1st of January the next year, because that's when this new tax rule comes in place. And there's also provisions for solar. There's subsidies on solar energy, solar power and battery storage, I think, which again is all positive news for Tesla. Cool. So has anyone else got any news or any questions, particularly from any of the new faces? Anything that you're curious about your new cars that are going to come, or anything at all?
Well,
hi.
Hi, Sarah.
I'm curious about flat tires. What's the best way of handling one of those, especially if you're out in the country?
You change
given
it.
that you don't have a spare.
Yeah.
Oh, do you?
So, actually, well,
there is a better way. Don't get one in the first place.
Yes. The what's it called? Prevention is much better than the cure. So there are a few things you can do. If you get the flat within, I think it's 50 kilometres of Perth.
80.
Tesla, sorry?
80.
80 kilometres of Perth. So I guess you could say, or is that your location probably? Or is that just per?
Yeah, you know what? I don't know.
Basically
I just
the metro area.
Get RAC and be done with it.
Yeah. But Tesla do have roadside assistance, and they actually have it on their Tesla app on your phone. So through the app at the bottom, there is actually, I'll just go onto my car because that's my wife's car. At the bottom, you've actually got roadside. So I'm going to just spotlight myself and see if this works properly.
Sarah, are you a member of the club at all? Of the Tesla?
Not yet. Not yet, but I will be.
I highly recommend that you pay the high fee of $20.
Okay, yes.
And then you join the club. And when you join the club, you've got access to spare tyres that you can take with you.
So you see at the bottom there's roadside, so then you can just click on that. And you can say, well, for instance, flat tyre. It's very hard to do backwards, but anyway, I'm going to go flat tyre. And you can go wheels and tyres or aftermarket wheels and tyres. Oh, Tesla one, sorry. And you sort of say what that is. And you can then basically request that they do something about it. So I think they'll know where the car is and they'll contact you directly without having to ring them and wait on the, wait in a queue or something like that. But yeah, so what Jared had mentioned is, as a member of TOCWA, and that costs a whole, mind you, $20 per annum, you get to, if you're on a road trip, you can actually borrow spare tyres. So we've got a couple of Model 3 tyres, and we've also got at least 2 sets of Model Y spare tyres. And that's an entire kit that comes in a bag with a wheel brace, jack, and a skinny spare, and that all comes in a convenient sort of circular case or bag with a strap on it, so you can easily put that in the boot of your car. It's easy to store or easy to carry around, and you can borrow that for free for road trips as part of the $20 annual fee of if you choose to be a member. As well as that, you can borrow charging adapters, charging cables, tire repair kits. But I mean, look, in my 30 plus years of driving, I've only ever had one catastrophic flat, and I actually only got it about 6 months ago, where I must have run over a bolt on the freeway, and my tire went from 50 psi to effectively 0 psi in about 1.5 kilometers. And that's super rare. Most of the time you'll just get a tech screw or a nail or something, and you get a slow leak, which if you're on a road trip, you just sort of keep topping up. But yeah, Tesla don't provide a spare. In fact, to be honest, most modern ICE manufacturers, internal combustion engine cars, they're starting to delete spares because they find that most of the time you're carrying around something that's never used. Or hardly ever. And look, these days, to be honest, many people don't change their own tyres. They will just ring the RAC. And even if they've got a spare, the RAC will come and change it for you. They'll give you a spare wheel, as a loaner sort of thing.
Yeah.
So
what about those aerosol type cans that you can get from? No.
Yeah. Look, they're okay. The only thing is, I think there's a distinct risk of wrecking your tire pressure monitoring system. Now, I think they cost. Does anyone know? Is it $60?
What's that? The TPMS?
Yeah. I did see on Tesla's website.
The TPMS about $60. That's correct. They were $100. Tire Power do them for about $50 installed.
Yeah, but I think I saw Tesla. I'll just try and grab their website just momentarily. And
I think for $100 each when I got them from Tesla for about a couple of years ago, year ago.
Yeah, but I think they're less than that now, Richard.
Richard, did you get that toy above your fridge with that as well?
That's Cole. It came with the house.
It came with the house, yeah, right. Part of the package.
Sorry about it. I'll tell you one day.
Okay.
Actually, frustratingly, they've disappeared. Maybe it was on another website. Maybe it was another jurisdiction. But they did have. Let's just check wheels and tires. Yeah, I can't find it right now. So sorry. So getting back to the original part of the question, because they've got these tire pressure monitoring systems, you're in danger of gumming it up. So then you may have to replace it. That'll add to your cost. What can be more effective are the puncture repair kits, which is an unvulcanized rubber slug. It's like a noodle sort of thing that you squeeze into the tire. You have like this. It's not a knitting needle, but it's like this. It's like a hand sort of. It's like a T shape where it's got like it's like a drill, and you sort of drill it into the hole to sort of clean it out or make it slightly bigger. You then use it's almost like a crochet hook actually, and you put the noodle in so that it's sort of halfway through the hook, and then you squeeze it into the hole, and then you pull out the hook, and then it sort of stays in there, and you just trim the top. And you can often do this without taking the tire off, because as long as you can see where the tech screw is, you can pull it out and then jam this thing in. And look, I can happily disclose that I've had one of those slugs in my car for the last 40,000 kilometers. Oh, maybe not that many, 30,000 kilometers, and it's been fine. Yeah, absolutely fine. So if you're at the side of the road, and you need to do it, then that's something that's perfectly doable. It's not quite as convenient as this pressure pack thing, but I guess you could say it's a cheaper solution because it means you don't have to replace the TPMS.
One tip there is, if you're buying one of those kits, you don't want to get the cheapest ones because they come with quite a small handle, and it takes quite a force to force these things into the tire. So you want something that you comfortably put a bit of pressure on. Paul's got one there. He's showing you on his screen one of these.
Yes.
Spotlight him, Harold.
Super Cheetah.
Yeah, I actually got that. I might have.
Oh, you got that? Yeah.
Do that one more time, please, Paul.
Yep.
There we go.
There we go. I can bring it out a little bit.
$40 basically.
$40 from Super Cheap.
And you've used that, haven't you, Paul? That's fixed all your leaks.
Yeah, the one I have was not with the handle, and the one time I did have that, I couldn't do it, and I'm not a weak bastard, and I still couldn't do it. But then when I did the roadside assistance on the screen. The place was right next door where I was actually doing the course. The guy just walked out with the tire and changed the tire for it.
You can
also, Sarah, when you belong to the club, there's access to an emergency number.
Oh, yes.
Which, if you're 300 kilometres out of Perth and metro area, Harold will come out and fix anything over 300 kilometres. So.
Jared's only half joking. We do have a support number, which is 62623131.
And it's no longer going to a Czechoslovakia answering
call
service.
centre.
No, we've changed it. It's now going to India. where Bangladesh will answer the call and direct you on to the nearest mat.
So if someone wants to try and ring that just to check, we'll just test if it works.
We'll go off in Pete's pocket.
Sorry, everyone. Can
Anyone?
I just jump?
No, hang on, Damo.
What was it? 6262.
He's calling it, Paul? Yeah, Paul's calling it.
Yeah, what was it?
6262.
Yep.
3131.
Oh, Jesus. Hang on.
Just so we'll do.
6262 3131.
Hello, welcome to Tesla.
Hello.
There you go.
There you go.
So that worked. Now I'll put my noise. Notice how good this noise reduction is. Can you hear this?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just put the noise reduction on. Can you hear this?
No.
Ah, beautiful.
Technology.
Yeah.
Takes at that frequency.
That segment was brought to you by Crisp. Great PC application. Removes all the noise, so you can as much as you like, and no one can hear you. Anyway,
talk at the top of it.
And you can talk. You can actually talk while I'm actually clapping my hands at the moment.
Wow.
What that sounds like at the moment is if I talk like that.
Whoa.
And then do the same thing, I can still talk, and you can just hear me clearly. It's amazing.
So, Sarah, you could look at getting that. So when you need help, you just put that on, and no one's going to listen to you.
So you can ring 62623131, and that'll get you someone at the end of the line that can sort of help out. Well, look, especially if you're, say, on one of your first road trips, and you've got a bit of range anxiety, or you might think you're falling a bit short in range or whatever, just give us a ring, and we can sort you out as a service to club members, or anyone watching. Ask us anything for that matter.
Mm.
So, but that's just another reason to support the club for the whole $20 a year.
Another thing we should just add with those kits, you'll only be able to fix punctures that are inside the middle of the tread. So if it's within a sort of a couple of centimeters of the edge of the tread, or if it's in the sidewall, those kits won't help much. And if you've got a sidewall that's got a crack in it or another puncture, then the only other solution is a spare wheel. So it's good to have a combination of methods on board. So Tesla actually sells a pump with the goo, all in one. There it is.
It's out of stock, frustratingly, but the goo itself is actually in stock, but the pump is not.
But you can get a pump for $30 to $50 from Super Cheap or and Repco, some of those stores.
Can you use those pumps on your Tesla, because they're normally reduced amperage? Or like with a normal car, you've got 6 amp or something like that fuse, maybe up to 10 if you're lucky.
You have a 12 volt.
The 12 volt outlet's good for 120 watts. So actually, I think more than that. It's at least 10 amps.
Most of those pumps run at 20 and 30 amps.
No. Oh, no, not the little ones. No.
No, the Tesla one's okay, but that's why I got a Tesla one, because that one ran at 20 amps minimum.
I've got an old Blue Tongue pump that I've used, and I just plugged that onto the battery, and away it went. No problems at all.
If you go direct to the battery, that's fine. I wouldn't be able to find the battery in mine, but under
the bonnet.
I just use a battery operated compressor.
12 volt socket in the back of the car.
So it's separate.
Plug it in.
That would take it, Jared, you reckon?
Yeah, easy. Yeah, that's what it's designed for.
Because 30 amps is a lot of power.
Yeah, no, they can take it. Definitely take it.
Okay.
I'm just going to look up tire compressor. I'm sure they have them for at Super Cheap.
Alex has used a lot of those tire compressors. He was single for quite a while, and he had a few girlfriends that need a bit of air. So and he snooze them all the time. He'd take his car out with a tire compressor, and away he went.
So this is an SCA Thunder 12 volt, and you can tell it's right because it's actually got the second lighter. Yep. What's the name?
That's the same one Alex had, I think.
$80.
Yeah.
Actually, I do have the same one, sort of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. He's an auto electrician, young Alex, so he could.
Yes, I am. By trade.
By trade, he's qualified auto electrician.
He's
as well as a tap dancer.
He's a singing electrician.
Tap dancing, singing, jazz, ballet, a couple other things.
I'm a man of all trades, Joe.
Yeah, he's a man of all trades. He can. He's talented man.
Master of none.
Getting COVID. He's very good at getting COVID. He's had it
twice, not again.
He's our COVID mascot.
I've just got something here from Rob Dean.
Yeah.
He's got an event that he wanted to share with us all. If anyone's interested.
Saturday.
It's Saturday. It's at the Valley Social, formerly Elmer's in West Swan Road in Henley Brook.
I heard the solar system there that was done was really dodgy. It's one of those European companies that went in.
Is that for this Saturday?
That's for this Saturday at 1 p.m.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I'm going to be down south.
Yeah, it starts at 1 o'clock, goes to about 4 o'clock. EVs will be able to park in the grassed area between the main restaurant and the marquee down the back. We'll have the marquee to ourselves and general public in the restaurant, but they'll have American barbecue food, drinks. And we might even trying to see if we can have the ability to charge cars there as well. But it'll only be on a as needed basis. I can see Harold shaking his head already.
So for anyone that's not aware, it's actually in the Swan Valley, again where the old Elmar's is. So it's actually not very far from town. It's pretty close really. So it's very handy. So there you go.
Pete will be there signing autographs between 3 and 4 and showing his new barbecue 3-burner with wok that's going to be on his Model Y. Isn't that right, Pete?
Well, the Roadster has got coal gas thrusters, so I'll have hot gas thrusters.
Actually, since we're talking about Model Y, I'm just going to go and grab something to show and tell. I've got another unboxing to do, so just excuse me for a moment while I do that.
Okay.
Very cool.
I'm just going to jump in for a sec. I just wanted to welcome a new member we've got in the group and welcome him to the chat, welcome him to the club. Dimitri, welcome. Everyone, Dimitri, George's son. And
Dimitri.
He's coming over. So, yeah, welcome, mate. I'm sure you can tell all the crew about your car.
Sorry, I didn't realise I was muted. Just recently got a few days ago a 2017 Model X. It's been fun to explore that car and get to know the Tesla a bit more. It's been good.
Which Model X is it, Dimitri?
The P100.
Oh, nice. P100D or?
Yeah, P100D.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's good fun to drive.
I bet it is.
So how long have you had it for, did you say?
Just 3 days now. So
oh wow,
a few days now. So yeah, it's been good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought I'd join the chat after George told me send me a link. So just to see learn a bit more.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah. Have you enjoyed it so far?
It's interesting. Definitely different to driving a diesel.
Where'd you come from?
Audi.
Yeah.
And Amarok, as in the work trucks. So yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I do love the Tesla.
Oh, awesome.
Can't see myself going back. So
once you go electric, you'll never go back.
That's
why would you go to a smartphone and then go back to a Nokia phone?
Yeah, that's it. Definitely.
It's not going to happen.
You're hooked now, Dimitri. No going back.
What colour did you get, Dimitri? What colour?
It's the white.
Ah, good colour.
Yeah.
Poverty pearl white. Gotta love it. It's all good.
That's it. That's what George says, the poverty white.
Exactly. Okay, so I've got a box to unbox. It's
the mighty big box.
It's pretty big, so I'll try and do this the best way I can.
I've got a quick question. Damo, are you going to be there Saturday? Are you coming? Damo?
For which one, Jared?
Are the Elmars in the Valley?
Not sure. Can you send me the details, man? I have to check my roster.
Yeah.
I hope I can make it.
I'll put it in the chat for you, Rob.
Put it in the chat. Stick it in the
Oh,
chat.
good on you, Alex.
Alex, you're going to be there, Alex?
Whenever we have an event,
I'll be there.
Always bloody working. It's just annoying, eh?
We'll have to get a cardboard cut out of you, Damo. So we can take you to every event. We'll go,
I really want to join one, but it's just not by choice. It's by working.
I know.
It should be on the website, Damon, but it's pretty simple. It's the old Elmars at 1 o'clock on Saturday.
Yeah, copy that, Pete. I'll have a look for it and
Harold,
check my roster.
Nigel, you going to be
Cheers,
there?
I hope I can come.
No, I won't be there. I've got something else on.
Peter Ship will be there.
I'm not sure about that. I didn't know about it. I'll have to check.
Yeah, we only found.
We
It's
just
a bit.
found out
It's
tonight.
it's a bit close to the event we just had. Normally we like to spread them out a little bit.
Well, we're getting inundated with events now, so we're going to start doing them back to back soon. There's so many of them. Hang on, Harold's
got a new. It's a hat. It's a new hat.
Hey,
it's a new. Look at that hat. That's a nice. That's going to keep the sun off that little noggin, isn't it? That's a beauty. It's a dish. It's a new satellite dish going on his head from his straight to the beam. It's a holder. It's a canter. It's a fountain.
So is that the one that was on Kim Jarvis?
I doubt it.
What is it, Harold?
It's a clip-on wheel. It's a wheel cover. That's the Model Y standard range.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
So it sort of makes it look a little bit like Uber turbines.
Yeah.
Does it come with something for the center?
Oh, yeah, I did throw that piece away. But they look like stickers. I haven't.
Yeah, right.
I literally haven't really looked.
You're going to put them on your Model Y, Harold?
Why not?
Oh, it's
so
just champagne tonight.
How much for that?
Champagne.
Like you, Paul, I don't remember how much they cost.
Yeah.
I dare say it was too much. Look, I think it was.
It's all right.
Oh, $500 or something stupid, maybe something. Not cheap. Definitely not cheap. But Anyway,
in comparison to 80,000, it's cheap.
Richard Chapman, are you going to be there on Saturday with your? Are you going to bring down the your scooter thing?
The Harley.
Are you planning on?
No, I think we've got some other stuff on Saturday. I don't know.
I'm not sure. To an event for a while, Richard.
I know. Yeah, it's funny that. Roll.
Oh, we saw him last week. Were you there last Sunday?
No, he wasn't there. No, he was still in lockup. He was at the police.
Just come over there because I'm so annoying.
I trust that the Valley Social thing that's been put up on our Facebook page.
It has, yeah.
Oh, great! Oh, awesome, fantastic.
Rob's put it up. Yeah.
Cool. I'll get that email out tomorrow.
Yeah.
As soon as I write myself a reminder in about 20 seconds to.
There's a good chance that Charles might fly over just to do a little speech on Saturday. Life in Hobart.
He'd probably drive over.
I'll start now. Hang on. Yeah.
If you leave now, Chuck, I reckon you'd make it.
Oh no, he wouldn't. No,
Friday.
No.
If you don't stop for dim sims on the Nullarbor, you're probably right. You'll get straight through, I reckon.
Jared, he's got to catch the ferry first, and he's already missed the ferry.
Yeah, you have to book the ferry about 2 months in advance at the moment.
Ooh. 2 months in advance.
Really? Is that for real?
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, wow.
What does it cost these days?
One person, the car, and the room return is about $750.
That's not
no
bad.
massage. There's no
Yeah.
rub down or anything, Chuck.
So $170 of that each way is the room. So if you just want to sleep on a recliner, you can do that.
I'm sure.
And you're not allowed to sleep in your car, are you, Chuck? I presume you can't.
No.
You've got to be a working car, don't you?
No, unfortunately
Pete
not.
Petrosky, take note of that.
2008, and I'm sure it was a lot more than that then. Have they been subsidised since? Did I see that somewhere?
Don't think subsidies have changed, but there's probably, like, they got rid of the shared rooms, the hostels style accommodation. So maybe full rooms cost less now. I don't know.
Yeah, but it goes up in summer, doesn't it? It's more expensive.
Yeah, yeah.
It used to cost me $90 for the car, which was a high one. So
yeah,
I think it was $70 for a car, $90 for a high vehicle, and the room was, I thought it was more than $170, but I stand corrected there.
Yeah, it could be that I just got the full room just for one person. That's all they had.
Yeah, my dad slept on the seats.
I mean, the last boat that Richard Chapman came on, they had a lot of apples on. That Captain Cook cruise that he came in.
Oh, this is a nice land. I love this.
No, Jared, that was one of my great-great-great-grandmothers that was hand-selected by one of the finest judges of England. to go to Launceston, I think it was.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a true story. Bridget Ryan was her name.
Oh wow! Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, Chuck, you'll take a bit longer. So well, speaking of driving, are you going to drive to Perth next year? You reckon? Maybe.
Oh, I don't know. It depends. I have to
Work
sort
thing,
out.
I guess.
It's just the time off. That's all. That much
Yeah,
in a row.
exactly.
Yeah.
Great drive.
But if I could, I would. I'll see how I go. I'm planning to go to Fully Charged in Sydney in March. So
yes,
kind of don't want to use up too much of my leave, but at least I can get to that one and back in a week and a half.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, easy. Oh, you got superchargers everywhere. I mean, incidentally, the ferry, they're not yet allowing charging on the ferry during the trip.
No, they say that the new ferries they're getting should allow that, and they'll be not end of next year, maybe start of 2024. I think the first one arrives.
Oh wow!
So
is it bigger, Chuck?
Yeah, they're a bit bigger, so sturdier, more capacity, all that kind of thing.
Are they going to be called like Spirit Tasmania still, or are they
Spirit of Tasmania 4 and 5 are the original names they're using?
Oh wow! Okay, cool. That's good.
Yeah, the current ones are 1 and 2, and there used to be one that went to Sydney, which was 3, but that ended after a few years.
Will that be Austral-built ships? Do you know, or out of interest, or
they're Rima Marine, which is a Finland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Finland.
Yeah, it makes sense because
these will be the first ships that were actually newly built. All the others have been secondhand.
Yeah, right.
Oh wow! So they probably have all the stuff on them. Wi-Fi.
I hope so.
Nicer rooms.
They'll have Starlink internet on them.
They should. Yeah. They should have the marine version.
Absolutely, that's a very reasonable $5,000 per month. See you, Nigel. Thanks for coming, grumpy old man in stereo.
I was just saying, see you to Damo. Who said good night.
Sorry, Damo. Good night, Damo.
Going in about half an hour, but
right. Sorry, yes.
Goodbye for then.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get rid of you. Yes.
Yeah, so the Starlink coverage is getting better and better. I mean, Chuck, you've got it completely, and all of Southern Australia has absolute coverage. The cool thing about looking at Starlink's website is that their map almost changes weekly. And in fact, we're just going to do it live. Oh no, it's still. Oh, it's might have improved. It's gone all the way to Townsville. Guaranteed coverage.
What about WA? Was it still stopping? Geraldton, just after?
No. It's gone further north. It's gone up nearly Monkey Mire. In fact, given that it's guaranteed to here, you will get it in Monkey Mire if you've got the RV. Oh, sorry, I thought it was up. Apologies for that.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, there's a hole.
So it's actually bumped up to that hole. We worked it out last week. That's the Murchison square kilometre array zone.
Yep.
That's where that nuclear power plant was. And things
Yeah, that's
glowed in
right.
that area.
That's right.
I got probably the best download speed I've ever got on Starlink the other day, which was perfect because I was downloading Grand Theft Auto 5, which is all of 104 gigabytes, sorry. And I got 294 megabit down at one point.
Yep.
Nice. It was like, yeah, unreal.
Yes.
Was that from that German site that you're downloading?
Yeah.
Schneise Witzel. Yeah, hello.
No, he was streaming all the back issues of F Troop and the Goodies and and other classic episodes series.
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who. That's right. So one thing that's new is Starlink have sent out emails to their French customers trialing basically if you use more than 250 gigabytes of data in a month, they will then do what the old internet service providers used to do and shape you. So they'll reduce your data rate for the remainder of the month, although it's still unlimited data. So they're sort of basically calling this their fair use policy, but they've actually halved the price. So the price was originally 99 euros and they've halved it to 50 euros under these new terms. So that's a bit of progress. I don't think it's going to make any difference in Australia, certainly in most parts of, well, in the outback of Australia, because it's all about density of consumption in one zone as opposed to like a whole continent.
How's your mobile one going, Harold? Have you done any?
Yeah, I've taken it out of my car now because I've basically proven that it works. And basically, I did see someone tweet back at me. This is actually quite interesting. He was a lot lazy than I usually am. I'll just bring it up, but he actually put one in a Model 3, but he mounted it slightly differently to the way I did. But yeah, no, it worked fine, Jared. I've proven the concept. When I get a Model Y in a couple of weeks or whenever, I'll try and mount that in that as well, just to see how it goes. But I expect it to be just as good as the X, if not better.
I can't wait for you to start when you go to Kalgoorlie again or somewhere like that, really remote.
Yeah, that'll be good to do that one day. Yeah, exactly. To be able to just prove that it works, which would be interesting. My tweet. Oh, here we go. Okay. And this guy replied to me. Sorry if I'm stuttery. No, anyway, I'll get. Oh yeah, here we go. This guy Kevin Trin. So he replied, and he just tested Starlink inside a Model 3, and he actually just put it on his back seat and let it swing around and do its thing, which I thought was sort of interesting. And he got 87 megabits per second.
Nice.
Doing 80 miles an hour. I presume. No, he says he's in miles per hour, so I presume he's
Texas.
in the States somewhere. I'll just try and find that.
Texas.
He
said Texas on his profile.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, he's in Dallas, Plano, Austin, Texas. There you go.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, I mean, look, Starlink's awesome, and anyone in a remote area should have it. It's just a no-brainer.
Absolutely.
Hey, you're on Starlink now, aren't you?
Who, me?
Yeah, you're on Starlink.
Let me check. I am, yes.
Okay. There you go. You haven't dropped out much tonight?
No, I did manually exit and go back in because one of the frames was freezing.
And Nigel, you're on Starlink as well? Nigel? Yeah, there you go. It's working fine. Seems to be more stable than it was a couple of weeks ago.
It seems to be getting better. So you would think, I mean, it's got the potential to go one way or the other. So if there's a lot of people that use the service, obviously it gets congested and it slows down a bit. But obviously, as time goes on, more satellites get added, etc., and hopefully we won't need any more ground stations. In the future, it will just be direct.
Well, Tesla have launched their 3000th Starlink satellite. I think that was today, actually.
Yeah, I watched it.
And as far as coverage goes, you'll see that all of these areas say start in 2023. And even if you go to, let's say, the top of Norway, which is well beyond any coverage, or even Greenland, they're starting coverage in 2023, and that's using the inter-laser links or inter-satellite laser links to do communications. So that's going to happen early next year once they turn that on. Once they get Federal Communications Authority permission to turn on those links, and then they'll be quicker. It'll be quicker to traverse continents using Starlink than it will be using the established fiber optic network that have got undersea fiber optic cables. It'll actually be, I think it's about 30% quicker, or take less time. So Starlink's awesome. And also one other benefit as being a member of the club is you will be able to borrow a Starlink for a road trip, although we're still working out the cost of that. Suffice to say, it'll be on the basis of cost recovery because, what's the RV rental?
173.
Is it one? Yeah, something like that a month.
Yeah.
So it is a fair bit dearer than a standard Starlink service. And the thing is, the terminal costs the best part of $1,000.
Yeah.
So
that's good. That's a good plus.
So we can't offer it for free, but we can certainly offer it on effectively a pro rata cost basis.
Yeah.
But if you are camping out in the middle of nowhere, it could be an awesome asset. Or if you've got teenage kids, it could be a curse. Who knows? Or maybe a blessing.
Or if you get a flat tire, you could YouTube how to change it because you have data in the country.
Yeah, and you can stream Willie Nelson to your heart's content, or something like that. So yeah,
death metal.
Sorry,
bit of death metal.
A bit of death metal. Yeah, exactly. Or a bit of Nana Muscuri if you're sort of feeling a bit too wired.
Or Kamal.
Exactly. So there you go. So yeah, go Starlink. I think we've woven most of the news. There are only some minor bits and pieces.
We might be getting Steam games.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that was in the news on Ask Us Anything a week or two ago. That's right, where Elon Musk has said that I think it's in maybe a month's time, but that's possibly Elon time, integrating the Steam platform that's originated from a company called Valve, which would be great for gamers because I presume that basically means once you've got Steam on board, you can play any of their games, or at least most of them, I guess.
It's going to be so good. Yeah, I'm a big Steam gamer, and yeah, it's just such a
you can tell.
Yeah,
massive. And you might be able to use external storage as well, so you can plug in SSD and use that. So you'll have your Tesla cam, you'll have your music, and then you can have your games folder on there, possibly.
Wouldn't that be awesome if they could use the onboard camera and microphone so you could actually stream your games while you're playing them?
Hey, Harold, a question for you. When are we going to be able to log into our Tesla app and look at our car and go on the camera and look at the car park?
They can do it in the US.
Yeah, because I can do it now with the camera that I've got in the ICE car, which is what's the name of the brand? It's called
Avara.
Blackview.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Right.
Put the Blackview camera in there, and I'll put a SIM card in the little compartment, and the SIM card, and I just dial in, and I can go live with the camera, or the back camera. And I heard that you're going to be able to do that with Tesla soon.
You can in the States already, so you can just open up your app and look at your footage live.
How far away is it to Australia? Oh, yeah, okay.
It's about 10,000 kilometres, I think.
I tell you, that's amazing.
Any idea when you're going to be finished here?
2 weeks.
How long will it take to put this place together?
2 weeks. Yeah, here we go.
I do get permits. How long will the job take? 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks? 2 weeks? You sound like a parrot.
Everything's 2 weeks.
2 weeks? 2 weeks? Well, 2 weeks. It's amazing. Amazing nothing. It'll be a regular miracle.
Harold.
See you, Chuck. Take care. Have a good night, and yeah, great to see you, mate.
Good seeing you, Chuck.
Look forward to seeing you again sometime soon.
Harold,
thanks, Nigel. Thanks for that comment. Obviously, all those hours down the med shed paid off, so appreciate that. So, 10,000 kilometres. Yes.
Harold, did that Steam thing say whether it would run on MCU2? I'm assuming hours are out of it.
Fucking game.
But you never know.
MCU1 is a no-no.
No.
Definitely not.
MCU2 is the same that the Model 3s currently, the older Model 3s currently have.
Okay.
The MCU3 is the Ryzen, I think, is that right? CPU that all the Model Ys coming into Australia and the new Model 3s will have. Don't know about MCU2.
Because I mean, we can play like that racing game that comes on there. That's a fully fledged arcade game. So
yes,
power there.
Yeah. Look, it might be fine print that has certain limitations. Maybe certain games will play, and others that are more power hungry might not. Don't know, to be honest.
Richard, what you need to do is you need to go into your garage and go check your pin and just make sure your pin's not poking in too much. Maybe just go and see if it's wobbly or it's a little bit loose. I think it's good of you older blokes to go check your pins. Same with you, Nigel. And check your because after a while, when you get old, the pin just gets a bit.
You're a special man, Jared. You're in prison orange at the moment.
This is a tribute to Damon with his burnt orange.
A bit orange.
Damon, yes.
Damon, yeah. So I haven't seen him for a while. I think he might be doing a bit of time somewhere.
Well, he's probably going to watch us. He's probably on night shift, and he's going to watch us as soon as this uploads, just a bit after midnight.
It's his
tribute. The only thing I could find on the MCUs was to do with the hard drive that you can use. MC1's limited to 8 gigabytes, MCU2 64, and MCU3, it says much larger, up to 256 gigabyte NVMe drives.
Rightio. So that's good to know. I guess we just don't know. But it's certainly plausible that maybe the MCU2s will do a subset of the Steam games if there's some spectacularly heavily resourced game that needs the more modern processor.
Steam is just such a great content manager. It's just made everything seamless. So I do see why they'd want to do it.
Yeah, and I think Tesla's always good at doing viral or guerrilla sort of promotions. It'd be great for people to do video casting while they're streaming, while they're playing their games. If they can use the onboard camera and microphone, how awesome would that be? How many people would be doing that at superchargers and even at home?
You're hogging the supercharger.
And if you could have, picture in picture, which is be easy enough to do, you could have the whole setup. It'd be awesome.
But still, you could be mining Bitcoin at the same time.
No one does that.
Yes, but then Elon would probably make us mine Dogecoin or something. Just because. But anyway, why doesn't Tesla just make your own coin? Because they could verify it with the fleet, and they could make it power saving, and with the security of all the cars, they could. You got millions of cars that can be nodes.
It would potentially reduce the security of the cars because it would make them more valuable to hack into.
That's the hack, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
Yeah, completely.
I mean, the cars are already going to be paying for themselves at some point, so just another revenue stream for the car.
Well, they certainly pay for themselves as far as saving on petrol costs, which are going to go up by the end of this month, I think, or was it the end of September?
Absolutely.
Oh, we got it. There's.
Oh, here we go.
Yep, found the photo.
So, do we know this in Australia, or it looks like, judging by that sign in the background, looks like it is.
Oh, I don't know.
I think
See
they're
how you got
pretty
the
standard
U on the
signs.
left?
Can anyone read the sign in the back?
No, it's blurred.
Can we zoom in?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, zoom in.
I'm trying to
Yeah,
zoom in.
no, that's Yank.
Yeah, it's
Yankee.
That's Yank.
You can tell.
Is that because of the those numbers in the lower left hand corner that might be like state routes or something? Like
Yeah,
that's
correct.
Because we have blue
like badges.
And the
blue
truck driver
around
had a shotgun.
our numbers.
Look at that, still in the car, still on the trailer. That's well strapped.
Right, there you go.
Yeah.
So it looks like
Bad day.
it's two trailers and one's just jackknifed and twisted or something, and
It's a double B.
yeah.
Because that U on the left doesn't really look like anything we have here.
Not really, no.
That's not a Nissan Navara.
No.
No.
But it looks like, is that bitumen or is that concrete? That could also be concrete freeway, so with just the tar for the gaps, possibly.
And the road looks shit, so it's definitely America. And the roads are the worst in the world.
Yeah.
They're not airbags that have gone off on those white cars on the side. That would be funny.
Can I zoom in?
Yeah, seeing where the windscreen is, where the bonnet meets the windscreen, you got these white patches, that white sort of blobs that are kind of in the centre.
Yeah.
That's a bit interesting. Don't quite
That's
know.
just isn't it the reflection of the car in front?
Oh, yeah, could be too. Yes, yeah, Pete. That's
and the black one on top of the front trailer or on top of the cab, is that partially off the truck? It's hard to tell.
Yeah, it's all a bit jumbled up. I dare say it's going to be a costly event. I just don't know. What a mess. So if it's double story, there's six cars on the back trailer at least, and there are 3 cars on the front trailer. So yeah, there's 9-10 cars that are going to be binned.
Yep. And the truck's done as well. So
and the truck's done as well.
So.
Yes, that is an expensive thing that someone probably cut someone else off, and the truck probably had to slam on the brakes or something.
So they need the Tesla Semi, don't they?
Was it Nigel just in the States?
No. I haven't been to the States for a long time, unfortunately.
He's been in a bit of a state, but not in the States.
Yeah. Yes, that's the one.
Exactly.
He's lying in state.
No, that was Pete last week.
I think I'll be lying in state on Saturday morning. I'll give you a giant tip, but anyway. Not that I encourage heavy drinking at all. Sorry, Jared?
That's very un-Australian, Harold.
Are we going to see you on Saturday?
I very much doubt.
I'm not going to be there.
To be honest. And unfortunately, I've got the Derby footy to go to at 2 p.m. anyway, so it just makes it that level of degree harder. It's it
was a bad weekend for that.
It was a bad weekend.
But it'll be a great. Hopefully we'll get a good turnout, and it'll be a great event in any case. So.
Pete's going to make sure he'll be doing the speech.
Yeah, because I thought we were going to do it when we had Model Ys in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, obviously.
Well, the thing is, we never know when the Y's going to come, to be perfectly honest.
Makes it really challenging, yeah. I mean, we were hoping we'd be able to have a Model Y there on Saturday, but yeah.
Maybe we can borrow one from Tesla.
No, it's not possible at the moment. They're too booked out, and
they're flat out, man.
If you think about it, the risk they have, in fact, I think one's already been dinged, but minorly the blue one's had a minor event.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Discount?
What do you mean?
Quickly go down there, get another one.
Yeah, discount for a second-hand one. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'll take a ding.
So one's already been damaged during a test drive. So, and how that happens, who knows? But anyway, these things happen. But yeah, it's basically too much of a risk for Tesla to just lend them out at the moment. They just don't have enough of them. There's only 4 available for test drives. So and the test drives, like Paul said, are well and truly booked out. But you can get Model 3s for a drive easily. So, Jared?
I was there. I test drive one the other week. It was very good. Very impressed. So people will be there Saturday doing his speech on camping on the road with Pete. Is that right, Pete? And you'll be doing the cooking course between 3 and 4. Alex will do a tyre repair course between 4 and 5. If Nigel was there, we'd be doing a course on where's my teeth between 2 and 3.
Hey, Jared, and you'll be MC, right?
I'll be MC. Yeah, no problem about that. I'll be ready to rock.
Oh, I'll hear you from Busso then, mate.
Yeah, you hear me from Busso. Oh, 100%.
Paul, how did you get your wife to agree to sleep in the back? Because you'll have to tell me to trick Rosie.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell. It's like topsy-turvy land. It was like, we're not getting a Y, and now we're getting a Y, and no way in hell are we camping. And then I suggested it tonight, and she was like, yeah, maybe we should try that. And I was like, what the hell? So
it must have been a weak moment because Rosie's not interested at this one.
No, but temperature control, all that stuff, and
Don't you put it on dog mode?
Camping mode. You got camp mode. I did suggest that to someone when he had his wife in the car, and I suggested put it on dog mode, but then it was only a joke.
I do that to my kid all the time. I put it on dog mode, and his eyes just roll, uncontrollably. And I keep looking diligently to make sure that the temperature is 22 degrees on the screen. It's all good. Anyway, hey Dimitri, with your new car, have you got any sort of questions or anything that you can think of at this stage?
Yeah, at the moment I haven't, but I'm sure in the next meeting I'll join and I'll have a few questions to ask you guys for sure.
Yeah, cool. I mean, one thing that came to mind is that the delivery process is going to be quite quick. I mean, you can obviously ask questions, so feel free to do that. But one thing that it's good to be
Harold, Dimitri's already got a car.
Oh, sorry.
He's got an X.
Got a 17 Model X.
Sorry, apologies. Forget what I said. Oh, actually, sorry, that's a 2017 Model X.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
You could be Harold's son. He could be his.
Have I got a deal for you? So, have you noticed that when you accelerate in your car really hard, you get like a bit of a shudder?
No.
Oh, good. Okay, well that's good.
I heard about the X having that shudder, and
half shut.
Before I purchased this white one, looked at another couple, and from doing the research, I asked the question if that I forgot what it was, but what made that shutter. But some of the cars already had that part replaced by Tesla.
Yes, several times.
Yeah, that's right. So this one hasn't had it replaced because he didn't even know about it himself, but definitely doesn't have the shutter. So, but it's got the extended warranty as well till 2026.
Oh, good.
Which is awesome. Yeah, got the 8 years, which only came out today.
So, because there are two kind of Model X's, those that have the shutter and those that are going to get the shutter. But the good thing is there's a new, what they do is they put the Raven half shafts in the car now.
Yeah.
And that allegedly is fixing the problem. If, for example, you were out of warranty, so for instance, this applies to you, Peter Ship, if you ever do get the shutter on hard acceleration, even though the car's out of warranty, then Tesla are now offering an out of warranty replacement, and that costs $495, which is quite reasonable.
Very. That's good value.
Because the half shafts, from memory, I think they cost about $1,200 when I had them changed under warranty. But this allegedly then basically fixes the problem. And it contains a whole lot of different parts. There's mounting brackets, clevis thingies, and they talk.
So Harold, if I understand that correctly, you had a problem with your shaft. Is that what you're saying?
It vibrates on when you go flat out. You get this vibration which isn't very pleasant. So especially when you're down the freeway, it's upsetting. Not that I stress the shaft very, very much, but or hardly ever. But yeah, you do notice it, and it is a bit annoying. And it's if you want to sell the car or someone else drives it, they might think that something's going wrong.
So what mileage do I look at getting this?
Well, have you got the shutter now, Pete?
No, not that I'm aware of. No,
okay. In that case, don't worry about it. So just keep driving it until you are aware of it. You can find it if you sort of really put on the throttle fairly hard. Like I said, I hardly do, but every now and then if you really gun it, you'll feel like a vibration in the front. So it's very subtle. Well, what they used to do is they used to think that the splines or something was wearing very slightly, and that would then cause it to vibrate or do something weird. And I know a car that's had at least 6 sets of half shafts changed.
That's a lot.
And every few thousand kilometers or 10,000 kilometers, it would just come back. And I must admit, I've actively not had mine changed, even though it would have been for free, because I just didn't want Tesla to continue to consume money without actually fixing the underlying cause, because I thought that was kind of pointless. But allegedly, this might actually structurally fix it.
Carol, was there anything that you know of that contributed to the problem, or could have been the?
No. So Tesla have they've changed the way the air suspension works. So it's worse when the air suspension is on high or very high. So now what they do is they have automatic lowering of the air suspension once you go above, it's either 24 or 40, 56 k's an hour. There's two speed settings, and you can't drive around on very high basically at all. And even on high, it won't let you drive around on that for any length of time, because that exacerbates the vibration. What minimizes the vibration is if you drive around on very low. Problem with very low is it chews the inside of your tires out, your rear tires. So it's not a great thing to do, or for it to do. So there are suspension things, and in software they've, like I said, reduced the incidence of it by restricting your ability to manipulate the suspension.
Yeah.
But there's no known. Let's hope that now with these new shafts and new clevis, whatever that is, joints and whatever, that it actually fixes it forever. Because I don't want Tesla spending more money, or owners spending more money trying to fix this thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if mine goes down anymore, because you told me about the wheel alignment, so I set mine to just stay at standard height.
Yes.
Because when you do the long trips, it's always going to drop down.
Yes. So you always set the automatic lowering to never.
Yeah.
You can change it at different speeds. You can have it at sort of much a higher speed, or just do it to never. And because as far as I'm concerned, it's not worth the extra efficiency when you're going to chew your tires out, because tires are more expensive than a bit of electricity.
Well, it's minimal difference anyway at that speed with our cars, unless you're flying. But on a trip, you're normally conserving your power anyway.
Well, the thing is, even if we're doing our full speed limit, that's still only 110 k's an hour compared to Europe, where you can do the 250 k's or whatever the car will do. So, so Dimitri, if ever you do get this vibration, just take it to Tesla. They will fix it under warranty, and that should be the last you'll ever feel or hear of it.
Yeah, that's good to know. So do you guys usually have it just on normal height then?
Yes.
Yes. Just a normal height. That's the best. So we're not wearing our tyres and.
Yeah. So absolutely, go to your car. Well, not now, but go to your car, and where there's that setting on the suspension for automatic lowering, and you can change the speed. There's a
never.
I think it's just set to never.
Yeah.
Because it's just not worth the tyre wear.
Definitely not.
To get a little bit of extra incremental efficiency, it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
Hey, Dimitri, if you're not doing anything on Saturday, come down to the Swan Valley.
Elmars.
Yeah, Elmars Valley Social at 1:00, and feel free to hang out with, meet a lot of us in person and ask any questions, and it'd be great to have another Model X there too.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I'm in Queensland at the moment. That's where I'm living. But I'll be over, so it'll take me a while to get there.
So
let's now to make
you over in Christmas time, I think, and I'll probably take the car over there with me. So,
hey, Dimitri, if you could just swing by Hobart and pick up Charles on the way over, that'd be great. Drop in and pick him up. That'd be good.
So when it comes time to actually drive your car to Perth, let us know. Come back in touch with us, and we can show you how to do it, because there's a few of us that have already gone around Australia.
Yeah,
there are others that will go around Australia. So we've got all the experience and body of knowledge that and we can even send you an adapter or whatever you might want to need to do that. So, and it's a great trip.
Harold's being a bit modest. He was the 6th person to go around Australia in an EV. And our chairman, Rob Dean, was the 10th.
So, that's awesome. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, but the modesty prevents me from saying that I was the first one in the Model X to do it. But anyway.
Oops. Oh, right.
And
so I didn't do justice there, Harold.
That's right, Pete. If you're going to praise me, you better do it properly.
Rather than doing a half-assed job.
Yes,
So,
but
Dimitri,
it's usually my job to do a half-assed job.
Dimitri, you're George's son, yeah?
Yes, yeah.
Did your dad put you on to Tesla?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, George put me onto it. Yeah, for sure. He sent me the referral code a few times.
Yeah, that's very altruistic of him. That's right. Use this referral code so I get free kilometres.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, I drove his a few times when I was back over in WA to see family, and it was time to make the move to get one.
I think Damo got his because of George too. So
yeah, that's right. That's from George as well. Yeah.
George has sprouted a few people. It's good. Very good.
Yeah, it's just a shame that some of those referrals didn't happen a bit earlier, because then George would have a roadster or two under his belt, and that would be awesome.
Definitely, yeah. Because they don't do them anymore, do they?
No.
Yeah, they don't even do the free supercharging kilometres anymore, so it's just nothing.
Yeah, that's right.
But that it has been suspended before, and then it's come back. But I just think that's a COVID thing. So, with the Shanghai shutdown, they just can't keep up. They've always struggled to keep up with demand, but it's just ridiculous at the moment. So, once supply and demand come into equilibrium in some way, that they may bring that back in again. Who knows?
It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. Yeah, in 10 years.
They're going to put the house rates up again next month, and then we're going to go into a full recession, and then they'll bring it back. Is that right, Pete?
But the thing is, Jared, the worst things get, the more EVs are going to get bought, because we've gone past that tipping.
Once petrol goes to $3 a litre, which will be at the end of September, guaranteed everyone's going to go EV, pushing more people to EVs. Once they start paying more at the Bowser, all you ever hear on the radio is people talk about, I was at the Bowser today, it's gone up 23 cents today. I heard that today on the radio. I was about to fuel up, but it's 23 cents, went up overnight. It's like, wait till it hits $3. People are just going to go, no. That's enough.
And the price of electricity is the same every day. It's the same price.
You think the interest rates are going to go up again, Pete, next month?
I hope not.
RBA will put it up again?
I hope not, but I think it's inevitable. Yeah, I mean, they're still saying, I mean, still nowhere near normal interest rates. They're still at, you know, expansionary or supportive levels.
Yep.
So the problem is, it's not the hikes, but it's just that, you know, the timing. They're just
how quick they're doing it though. There's no breathing room. I feel sorry for people that got a home loan this year. They're just getting smashed.
No, you need to be sorry for the ones that got a home loan. Is it 2 or 3 years ago when they had fixed rates that are going to transition to variable in the next few months? It's those people that are going to get a rude shock. It won't be like 0.5% or a 1%. It'll be like a 3% hike.
Well, they're calling to sack the board, RBA board. They're calling for that.
You got to feel especially sorry for the people that bought a house and really extended themselves or got a car loan or what have you, on the basis that interest rates would stay the same for what was the rhetoric at one point?
2024.
2024, correct, for 3 years. So, yeah.
What's that saying? Forecasts. What's that thing about forecasts, Pete? That sage saying about the only thing correct about forecasts is they're always wrong, or something like that, or predictable about forecasts. Because
I just feel sorry for people that got a house in Sydney, just a basic house in Sydney that's 1.1 million.
Yeah.
Going up, $700 every time the rate goes up. I'm just like,
yep.
The rates were never going to stay that low. They were unrealistically low.
Yeah.
But the way they're pushing it at the moment, every month it's going up and up.
But Jared, they have to, because they have to basically take money. The whole reason why interest rates are going up is because there's too much money in people's pockets, burning a hole in the pockets. They then buy stuff they don't really need. That the price, because of the rarity of the commodity, it causes the price to go up, and then that causes inflation. And for all these other reasons, inflation is bad. What they should do is, rather than having a reserve bank of monetary policy, there should be a reserve bank adjusting the GST, because if you want to moderate consumption,
the GST
alter the GST rate so that if you are a saver, it doesn't affect you, it doesn't hurt you.
That's what they did in Zealand. They put it up.
Well, yes, but they need to have a floating GST. They need to have a base rate, which is what governments need from day-to-day activity. Then there should be like a reserve bank rate, which varies according to the economic conditions. So if economic conditions are bad, you reduce that buffer, so things get cheaper. And then if things are too good, and the economy is racing away, you moderate it with an increased consumption tax. And if you depoliticise it, so you say, well, the GST has a base rate of 10%, and it can go plus or minus whatever the Reserve Bank says within a range, then it depoliticises it. And then if you're a saver, you're not being punished. If you're a mortgage holder, you're not being punished. But if you consume discretionary goods with gay abandon, well, then we're going to take some money out of your pocket.
So we really know whose fault that is. It's Paul and Pete buying all this Tesla shit. That's what it's causing.
I didn't buy anything from Teslas.
If they stopped buying all this bloody shit, then we wouldn't go up. We've got too much cash on their hands.
But see, the thing is, a higher interest rate is not going to, it will affect 2/3 of people, but it's not going to fix, Russia invading Ukraine and causing oil prices to go up. It's not going to fix any supply chain bottlenecks. It's not going to fix a lot of the reasons why prices are the way they are. So it's an incredibly blunt tool that is just becoming less and less relevant. And at the moment, with the current situation that we have, it's hurting a lot of people that aren't the cause of the problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they aren't the solution to the problem either. So,
and you could say, some of the older people that actually have bank deposits, if anything, they're getting a pay rise. So that's having the opposite effect. It's actually putting more money in some of those pockets. So it's just unbalanced. And then the cost of business goes up because interest rates go up. And you don't really want that. You want the cost of business to go down so that their cost to manufacture products or supply services also goes down. So, a lot of the inflation is caused by the increase in interest rates, which is intended to try and reduce it.
The company that I work for had a container, a 40-foot container arrive. Cost $21,000 to get a container from China to Perth. They used to pay $6,000.
I was going to say they used to cost about a third, yeah.
Yeah, it was $6,000 they paid, and they're now paying $21,000.
Well, there's such demand for
and
the
how high
containers as
interest
well.
rates going to change that? High interest rates are going to have that much effect on that. There might be one less container that comes in because of interest rates, but yeah.
That's nuts.
Absolutely. It's
apparently containers are going crazy at the moment. Like they're sending boats out of Fremantle, empty containers because they need containers back over in China and Europe. But they're just taking them, get them out of Perth. It's crazy, they'll tell me.
That's just to smuggle more people in, isn't it?
Well, yeah, get them out of Perth and smuggle them into China. That's where I want to live, in China. That's, I get the $7 a week, free bowl of rice every night. Right.
Beautiful.
6 days a week. Can of
What's
Coke.
that alcoholic drink that's actually, it's the drink that no one's ever heard of?
Sewage.
Sorry?
Sewage.
No. It's made from, I think it's rice or
that's
rice wine,
soya bean or something, and they use similar processes as when you make miso. And there's actually someone in Australia that's making it in Tasmania, I think. Unfortunately, Chuck's no longer with us, but he is still very much alive, hopefully.
You don't mean Carver there?
Sorry?
It's not Carver, is it? About
No,
that's
China.
Fiji.
And 98% of it that's produced is kept in China. So it's virtually not exported. And because China's a large country, it's got huge volumes. Like I think it's one of the biggest drinks by volume that's consumed, alcoholic drinks.
Are you sure?
Sorry?
You sure it's not rice wine like Pete said?
Yeah, but they call it something else. They call it something. It's weird because they don't brew it like beer or wine. If it's rice, it's not really wet. It's just like mushy, and the alcohol forms inside, and then they actually use steam to extract it. So they then.
I'm sure I've had copious amounts of it in China.
Yes, I just don't recall what the name is.
Guinness?
Sure.
No.
Terps?
No, it's not Terps.
Baiju?
Who?
Baiju?
Yes, Baiju. That's it.
Good up.
I googled
well done. You're
Yes,
number one.
Baiju. That's it. That's the one. And if you Google like how it's made, it's just this weird process. And it was moving to the country on the ABC, and it was
dangerous. You weren't driving at the time, were you?
No, I never drive and watch a show about drinking. No, that would be irresponsible. But yeah, Baiju, and it's one of the world's most popular drinks that virtually hasn't left China. It's probably a little bit like Vegemite, only the locals can tolerate it. And yeah, apparently sorry?
What, Rich?
I think Richard just said, how do you spell it, Paul?
Oh, it's a B-A-I-J? J something. Yeah.
It's a distilled liquor type.
Yeah, that's rocket fuel, that is.
Rocket
fuel. It's between 35 and 60% of alcohol by volume. And it's a unique fermentation. I mean, you can see it looks like rocket fuel because like it's packaged in something that looks like a firework bomb or something. But
yeah, brings back some memories.
So yeah. Anyway, it's amazing how many different ways humans have worked out how to turn something into alcohol.
Kill some brain cells.
Exactly. Now, though we might be killing brain cells, we're certainly not yet killing the Tesla price. So that's
What's it now?
benefiting from the fact
I
that.
can't.
Oh, there we go.
Did you want to share?
Yeah, I'll just.
Oh, Joe's back. Hey, Joe.
Like that. $860. Oh, it's only up $10. That's okay. That's it's better than not being up at all.
Now that Elon's getting out of Tesla because he's selling his shares.
No, that's it.
Yeah, that's
Sawyer Merritt said that's it.
And he's going to get a suntan as well.
So he sold enough shares to buy a spray tan.
Spray tan.
Well, it's good that he's pale. That means he's working. You know, he's just staying inside working.
Did Elon reply to, I don't know if it was Gary Black or someone else that said, so if the Twitter deal doesn't go ahead, would you then buy back into Tesla? To which Elon apparently replied yes.
Yeah.
Which is
good. So hopefully our shares go back up there.
Yeah, hopefully not until the end of next week, please. I'd like to have a little sad session.
Sad session.
But I mean, oops, sorry, I've got this thing up. I didn't mean to have that up. Sorry. Actually, perhaps the share price is more handsome than I am. There you go. That's a bit better. It's certainly better than. Oh, that's not working. Oh, yes, it is. Certainly better than that.
Cheap champagne.
Anyway, yeah. So the share price is definitely better up than down, but yeah. But look, it's good that Elon has sort of he's made his sales that no one really noticed, and regardless of whether he buys Twitter or not, it's not going to continue to affect the share price of Tesla. And the split, which is the 27th, so that's only next week or no, a couple of weeks.
Yep.
Then we'll see what happens there. The shares will be roughly $300, which is good.
Yep. Pick up some more.
Yeah, exactly. So so there you go.
Well, why wouldn't they go like 10 to 1?
I know that would have made more sense. Even if they did 10 to 1, but only to increase the amount of shares, but actually for the stockholders did 5 to 1 or something. So then they'd have it in the bank, because if they want to do it again, we all have to vote again. It's just stupid.
They've only got $4 billion that they authorised to be extra.
Yeah.
So
stupid.
They should have done 20 to 1, because then
that's what I wanted.
Down to about $50.
Yep.
But then the Americans have this arcane thing that to be in certain indices, you have to have a minimum share price, regardless of how many shares or your market cap. You've got to have a minimum share price of, I forget what it is now, $10, $20 or $30 or something ridiculous, as if that mattered.
Yeah.
But
would have been good. Then the workers could have bought, a lot more of the workers could have bought shares,
And that's exactly right. I mean, if you're because all Tesla employees, including those in Australia, can salary sacrifice into Tesla shares. But sorry, Richard?
And they all do it. I've chatted to a few of them that are like, all of them like, we're holding those for our retirement deposits.
Yeah, because they get a 15% discount on the shares as well.
And you'd be mad not to, particularly since you know what the mission of the company is and how well it's doing, even though, of course...
The previous comments were general in nature and shouldn't be taken as personal professional advice. Listeners should seek their own independent assessment from a qualified advisor and not rely on the general nature of information in this program.
That never gets old.
Oh, it is, right? Yes.
I mean.
Anyway, so, yes. But yes, just buy Tesla. Just especially for a Tesla employee with a 15% discount. But yeah, it is a bit silly that you've got to try and cough up $900 US for one whole share.
Yeah.
you know. Oh, you did notice that, you know, Tesla really is working hard to get more shareholder votes. So we did mention a week or two ago that there's an alternative way of registering your shares so you can vote. I mean, in America, you can use the Say platform and one or two others, but you can also just put in an application. Frustratingly, I did put an application in because I've got my shareholding through a Big Four bank brokerage from one of the Big Four banks, and of course those shares are held in trust. So Tesla don't actually know that I'm a shareholder, so I have no voting rights. And I did actually send a statement from that brokerage to Tesla as per their website, but unfortunately I haven't had a response back. And I know someone else that did the same thing and they haven't got a response back either. So
yeah, I got verified.
Yeah, but well, don't you just mean that you just got regular emails of their Form 4s and all that sort of stuff? Yeah, which is you're just on their email. It's there's been no email reply yet saying we've confirmed you own X number of shares.
Yep.
And,
Okay.
you know, this is how you vote. Because there were a couple of votes at the shareholder meeting that did get up that Tesla weren't in favour of. And on the other hand, there were a couple of things that they didn't get up and they would want to. I think one of them was because you needed a supermajority.
Yeah, they were trying to get rid of that. And that
yes, but in order to get rid of it, you had to have a supermajority.
Yeah, I know.
And I think the frustration was that 98% of votes were in favour, but the problem was they didn't have 3/4 of the votes voting because there are a lot of small retail investors that don't have much, but there's a lot of them, and they just didn't bother to vote. So I think that's why Tesla are trying to reach out to small shareholders to make it easier for them to be properly registered so they can vote.
But they might have the same problem you've got. You know, they don't have the actual ability to do it. That's the problem with some of those things.
That's right. And, you know, because I've got 10% of Tesla in my drink, I'm trying to help you, Elon, but, you know, I'm just not allowed to vote, you know. Australian votes matter too, you know. But, yeah, anyway. Hopefully they'll fix that up.
So you didn't vote then?
I can't. There's no. I've got no way of voting because I've got the shares, like I said, through one of the Big Four banks.
Yeah.
I don't have a direct IRS or whatever, not IRS, but I don't have a direct shareholding. They basically hold it on your behalf.
Okay. Because I do.
So my shares are safe as long as that bank doesn't go broke, which is not likely to do. So that's not going to happen.
No. Your taxpayer money will bail it out. No worries.
Whereas a mate of mine, he does have them in his name and he can vote, but that takes a lot of effort. You've got to go through Pershing and through this and that, and it's got to be a full service broker, and they can't do things like hop online and just sell his shares. He's got to effectively email a broker and say, I want to sell them tonight or tomorrow or something at a certain price. So you don't have that instant sort of ease of...
because I can do... Because I vote. So, yeah. I just
right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, because as soon as I get the email, I jump on and
I presume you use a premium brokerage or something like that. You don't use like one of the bank brokers.
No, it's Concept.
Oh, right. Really? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Pete,
got it a while ago. Have you filled out your W8 form?
Yep.
Yeah, and all that.
You have to be able to qualify.
Do that. Yeah. Maybe I got it a few years ago, so maybe there was something different when I did mine.
I might look into it, Paul, just in case I've missed something.
Yeah.
But I had to register the form for the IRS, even though Tesla doesn't have dividends, so it's not like that's ever going to get taxed.
No.
And the Americans don't have capital gains tax, so they don't care about that.
No.
So
maybe because the first time I had money in the account, but I wanted to buy the share, so I just rang them and then bought them over the phone with them. So maybe that lot.
Maybe that's because that was a premium brokerage type setup, or that's the way that was done. But have you bought shares just using their platform directly, digitally, like on the?
Yeah, I've done that since.
Yeah, okay.
But the first tranche was, I think I did have the premium thing at the beginning. Yeah.
But you've got votes on all of your shares?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I assume so.
Peter Ship.
Yes.
Are you there? Are you going to be there on Saturday?
I don't know. I haven't checked with Rosie yet because I'm not sure what we've got on. If we're free, I'll probably go.
Okay. I hope to see you Saturday.
Okay.
If not, I'll catch up with you next Tuesday, I guess.
Tuesday. Suit me. What time?
5:30.
Okay. Good.
Just text me on the day and we'll catch up.
Okay.
Just share that.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
There you go.
What are we doing?
I don't know. They got something. Doing special going on.
Squirrels.
Yeah. Yes. Are we doing no? Pete wants me to check his plug thing to make sure it's not out of the way. He's a young guy who's got good eyes and not like an old guy. So.
Right.
So all you older guys should get your plug thing checked, especially you, Richard Chapman, because you're a well-known troublemaker when it comes to plugs. Actually, is Joe there? Is Joe, you there, Joe? Have we got any, what's going on in the lunchbox section?
Take care, mate. See you next week.
See you guys. See you,
Come on, Joe. Surely we're going to put a treat in the box today. Surely we're going to put in those little snacks, like a little cupcake or a little Snickers bar, something.
Oh, you can't have Snickers bars, Jared. Come on.
Hot cross bun.
Little picnic or something, like a little
hot cross bun today.
Hot cross bun. See that you could use that for trading. You could trade with that with someone else.
Hang on. Sorry, did you say hot cross bun, Joe?
Yeah, well, they're not called that at this time of the year. They're called fruit buns, but it's the same thing. It's still got a cross on it.
Yeah, there you go, fruit buns.
They probably just whipped them out of the freezer and stuck them on the shelf, and they just threw it out as you bought them.
I mean, you could trade that up to a muffin, Joe. That's all right. That's okay. Somebody want to trade.
Those things are just fruit loaf, that just different package. It's pretty cool.
Really?
Actually, Joe, can you buy them without sultanas and stuff, without the fruit?
Not at this time of year. No, you don't have a choice. You can't get the chocolate ones and the fruitless ones. No, they're just fruit buns.
I'm sure you can find them on Teslas. Sure they're there somewhere.
Yeah, with a little T sign on the top.
Yeah,
oh, there you go. So rather than a hot cross bun, it's a hot tea bun or something, or a
tea bun. Yeah.
Plaid buns or something.
Yeah.
Cool. So, Joe, have you got your car sorted? Have you got what's your delivery date roughly? Span? Is it late August?
Yeah.
It's very important information.
You're going to keep your 3?
It's the 20th of August to the 3rd of September.
Yeah, cool. It's very similar. Yeah.
The same as a lot of people. Yeah.
You're going to keep your 3, Joe?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Who's going to be the
2
main
Tesla.
driver of the why?
I know.
Seriously? Is that because you guys got the full self-driving thing for the 3? You don't want to sell that?
We're just not going to sell it at the moment.
Awesome.
We can't be without a car, so we've got to actually have the why before we can even think about what we're going to do with it.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, we just can't really fit it in the garage, so that's the problem.
Oh, you just do what Pete does, just get a bigger garage. He's got 8 Teslas now. He's an 8 Tesla family. You just get a bigger garage.
He's probably got a big driveway. We don't have a driveway.
Massive driveway.
You've got a lane at the back, or then again, it's a car wide.
That's the thing. We got a lane, but you're not allowed to park a car in the lane, and there's no way we'd leave a car out there in the lane.
There is.
There is. Where's their website? Here we go. Out in Morley, there's the Green Dog Truck Depot in Bayswater. And you got storage, and you got a pit, and you can do maintenance, and you got discounted fuel and all that sort of stuff. The yard's lit. You got electric fence. You could always tap into electric gate entrance. Everything's electric. Wash bays. It's just near Tonkin Highway. If you
charge off the fence, did you say, Harold?
Yeah, charge off the fence. Why not? High power. Well, high voltage.
Might take a while to charge up.
It might, but at least it trickles at the same time.
Trickler. It's a trickler.
Yeah, that's right. Trickle charge.
Trickle it up. Like trickle.
But that's awesome, Joe. Yeah, and obviously you can work out what to do with the 3 once the wire arrives. And
oh, you won't. There's too many memories in that 3, Joe. Too many great lunch boxes that we can talk about over the years. You know, too many great camping.
Jared. So yeah, you know, the best car's the next car. The other one's old news. It's
not to
go to another loving family.
Pete won't. He won't let that black one go. That's one of his favourites.
Yeah, but at least we've got one each. How many people drive in Pete's family?
He's kicking and screaming.
Compared to the number of cars.
He's going to hang on to that black one forever. He's never going to let. That's one.
Look, there's at least 0.2 of a person driving one of his cars at any time. You know, so.
Yeah. Exactly. You can rotate it around.
Pete believes in having a spare car just in case. You know. Or just in case it's a bright day and you want to use the dark car, or if it's a dark day and you want to use a light car, or
he's thinking about turning 2 of them into batteries. So he's going to leave them parked up into the house and run power from the solar straight into the car, then into the house. Perfect.
No, there always was a logical reason for getting, you know.
We just don't know what that is yet, but we'll get back to you.
Actually, for the cars that we have so far, there was always a logical reason. I don't know if I can say that with a straight face about some of the future cars that are on order, but yeah.
Remain nameless and numberless. We won't talk about Pete's ambitions in this, you know. I mean, look, Lindsay Fox started with 1 truck and then he bought another truck, and he probably got Pete's disease and suddenly ordered, you know, 10 trucks, and it's like, holy shit, I better like turn this into a money-making venture.
Now he's up to thousands.
Exactly. And well, Pete will get up there, you know, he's got time on his hands.
And then he's going to rent them out. It's going to be the Pete's Rent-A-Mobiles. You know?
Rent a Tesla.
One curve not too far away, they're going to call
it. Ahead of the curve.
Ahead of the curve.
Ahead of the curve, I mean.
Ahead of the curve.
Yeah, not on the curve. There you go.
Oh, dear.
Time to change the subject.
Yeah, time to move on. Back to lunchboxes, Joe. Can we do something better tomorrow, maybe? Can we work on maybe some small treats?
That was the treat. The hot cross bun was the treat. It was a sandwich as well, you know.
That's just going to be a trading tool. That is. That's just going.
But Joe, how do you toast it and get the butter on it to melt on it and stuff?
That's what I'm saying. It's going to be straight tray. He's going to get a muffin.
I've just done it in the microwave, and I was going to put the butter on it, but then Jared interrupted, and so now it's not hot anymore. So there we go.
Yeah, but giant tip. You heated it, put butter on it, it'll soak in, and then it will coagulate because it's going to get cold.
That was the plan. That was the plan, yeah. Now I'm being polite and talking back as I've talked to. So
you can't put butter on it.
It's gone cold now. Thanks.
Not kosher.
Have they got microwaves at school? Can they use that?
Oh, yeah. No problems. Yeah. Full microwave access.
No, not the kids, but this one's for me.
Ah.
And yes, there's a microwave where I am going.
Yeah. Because, well, I was going to say, you just need a toaster, Joe. You need just bring a portable toaster. Only kidding.
Get one of those 12-volt little ovens that you get. People have one for his car.
From Tesla's.
Those little
accessories.
Those little, what do they call those little ovens? You know, a little square. Everyone's looking at me stupid like that. You can get a little oven.
I've got one of those.
I think it's called the Buddy or something, or the Pen Pal or something like that.
Harold's got one next to his desk there. But...
Yeah.
Actually, because I've got.
They're really good apparently. You put sausage rolls in them and.
I've got a nice rotisserie for the microwave that can just sort of spin around.
I thought that was some sort of. Actually, if you put it in front of your face, it looks like some sort of geisha. Some sort of Japanese geisha thing going on there. Here we go. Joe's going to show us how to microwave a fruit roll, not a no longer a hot cross bun.
It's a cold cross bun now.
It's a cold fruit bun. Pay attention, Mr. Chapman. You need to. How's that? Are you missing the camp yet? You missing camp?
Oh,
yeah. I mean, they were good days when you could walk around at night.
I'm missing not having to work for a living.
You know, that week off that you had away from the dishes.
2 weeks. 2 weeks off.
That's right, 2 weeks off from the dishes. You know, and the walk around camp at night with Gina following you.
Oh yeah. Although I'll be dialing in from site, walking around camp for a little visit. So you'll
you haven't. We need to get you. How long? When are you going to do that, Richard?
Why?
Can you bring us back some dirt from?
No, because if it was soon for a short period of time, I could lend you my Starlink and just see if it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Out there, but if it's later, then I might be needing it.
I'll message you.
Oh, you better come on Wednesday night.
It won't be heavy. It's not heavy at all. Like it's quite compact. So you can put it on cabin luggage if you had to, or even if it's in ordinary bags. It's quite light. It probably weighs.
Friends of mine flew to
3
Broome
kilos,
today.
Maybe 4 tops. The whole lot.
Friends of mine flew to Broome today, Perth to Broome, because they've gone up there because of the Perth Cup, the Broome Cup, to do some work, and their luggage arrived in Adelaide today. So
lovely.
Their luggage went to Adelaide and they went to Broome.
So the big there is fill up your cabin bag with all the stuff you need, and then only put non-essentials in your main luggage.
100%. Yeah, definitely, because apparently that luggage is just. I did see something with Alan Joyce loading a plane the other day. It could have been a cardboard cutout of him, but apparently he was unloading a plane, which I find really bizarre. That CEOs and
they're actually looking for 100 volunteers in the executives to do that because of the lack of cabin baggage crew.
Yeah, right.
So
that's like saying, Gina Reinhardt, can you get on the drill press and
on the Widowmaker? No, on the Widowmaker, drilling the holes in the iron ore, in the iron thing, hill thing. But so Richard, message me. If it's in less than a couple of weeks' time, totally cool. And if it's more than say 6 weeks' time, totally cool. Because it'd be a great experiment to do just to see if it works. Because I think it might work.
Yeah, it's still like the trip's not confirmed. I'll definitely be going up there.
Yeah,
but I'll be driving the whole rail alignment. So that'd be cool to be in some bits. Where I know that there's notoriously no coverage from even Telstra, so that would be, and I am keen to test it up there.
Let me just have a little. I'm just going to have a little sneaky look on the map.
Hey, Richard, were you using that same locomotive that you use in Bunbury, Bustleton?
Yeah.
Is that the same loco?
For moving not 36 tons, but maybe 3.6 tons.
Is that the one that works the Bustleton jetty?
Yeah, the one with the solar panels on the top. Like
the little doot doot train. Yeah, right. Okay.
Toot toot. Cam.
I think you're level with Exmouth, aren't you, Richard? Roughly, figure of merit, like.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's a bit of a stretch, but it might work.
No, but I'll be flying into Headland.
That's even worse. So if you see here, there's Headland. This is Murchison. So that's Monkey Mire just there. So you got Carnarvon. I can't. Oh, there you go.
That's really added to Harold, isn't it?
From Price.
That coverage has really changed in the last 2 weeks. You only got as far as Horrocks last time we looked at that.
Yeah, I know. No, it has no. Yeah, that's right. That's this bit was last week. We were discussing the Murchison, what's the name, last week, but this is actually kicked up to Townsville, which is nice.
Yeah, right.
They keep extending it organically, basically. But
that would actually be very cool. I could literally, because I'm going to I'll have a Prado or something like that. So I'll have a power source.
Yes. Well, I'll give you the inverter as well. So I'll lend you the inverter, the whole kit and caboodle. And like I said, it's I think it's 30 centimeters wide by 50 centimeters long as a rectangle. So it'll fit in like a cabin bag if it had to. And even the base itself is rectangular, so that fits in the same footprint in your cabin bag. And the modem's only small.
Actually, can you order, because obviously I've got the original circular dish as of you from the original one. Can you order a new dish? Yes. You can. I didn't remember seeing that on.
No, you need to order a new service. So look, I don't know if you can cancel your circular service, or you're probably better off trying to get someone else to take it up that's not going to go mobile or something like that.
Oh no, I'm not bothered about, because it's the same, isn't it, in terms of quality of service?
Pretty much. The modem that comes with that new generation squared or rectangular dish has 3 MIMO, which is better than 2 MIMO, whatever a MIMO is. I think it's the way it does the beam forming for the Wi-Fi 5 or whatever it is.
6.
Wi-Fi 6, sorry. So it's got better beam forming and
it's got more antennas.
Yes, yeah. So but that's the modem side.
Are you talking for the phased array, or are you talking
No, the modem that does the Wi-Fi. So you got the phased array, which does the thing to the satellites, but then the actual Wi-Fi box, let's call it a modem or router. The new version dish has a superior version of that router.
But it doesn't have output ports, does it? It's all Wi-Fi.
It doesn't have Ethernet, no. But you can buy an adapter, which is like an inline adapter, for about $60, I think, roughly, from SpaceX.
Does that give you 1 or 2 ports?
1.
Okay.
Because the intention for that is you just stick it in a Dream Machine Pro or a network hub or something like that, and that then does the rest of it, but it's only got 1 port for Ethernet, because it's a mug's game to have one that's got 2 ports or 3 ports or 6 ports or 16 ports. They just give you 1, and you just jam that into your network, and then you've got hardwired communications.
But no, it sounds like that could be cool.
Yeah,
that'd be a great little trial, because I'll be on the road.
Yeah. I mean, it won't necessarily work while you're driving, because you'd have to. Well, unless it's a ute, and you could always just sort of strap it or sandbag it or something to the tray or whatever, gaffer tape it. But certainly when you're stopped, you
will be a Prado or something. So I don't really want to.
No. Oh, you could just that's right. You could just gaffer tape it or something. But if you're stopped, because that's when it's useful. Well, whatever. Just for an experiment, just to see what the edge, how well it works or not. Given that there's no base station anywhere in the Pilbara, so it's literally coming from Cataby, which is 1,000 k's away, basically.
The more I think about it, the more I'm game to give that a go, because I definitely want to trial it in Headland, I'm down the whole alignment. So to be discussed.
Cool, no worries. We'll talk about that offline, as they say.
Yeah, you guys get a room and talk about that stuff, right? 2 old blokes go go check your plugs. Make sure your sockets are all good.
Well, like the great thing about this new dish too is that it hasn't got a tethered cable; it's all plugged in. So you just plug the actual cable. There's like a recess in the shaft of the dish, and you just plug that in, and it's got like a little grommet that seals it. And there's actually a plug each end, so you can completely separate the dish from the cable, which is really handy. And I think there's options to buy shorter lengths of cable because it comes with like, I don't know, 30 metres of cable, roughly, or 20 metres, something like that. But you can just keep it rolled up, like it doesn't matter. It's all good. Cool.
Pretty good.
All right, so has anyone, any other bits of news or anything that we haven't thought of before?
I got one thing. Did anyone know that Olivia Newton-John passed away?
Oh, that.
Yes, that was
very sad.
That was very sad. She was 73. Yeah, I think.
71, I think.
Sorry, say again, Pete.
I thought she was 71.
73.
But
73 was she? Okay.
73.
Yeah, very sad to hear that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And Judith Durham.
Yeah, that was last.
Died as well earlier in the.
She was 71, I think. You're getting your girls mixed up, Pete. That's what it is.
I thought Judith Durham was a bit older than that, but
she might have been a bit older than that.
Corrected.
Yeah. No, she could have been a bit older.
No, she was. No, she was actually. I think she was in the late 70s.
Yeah, 78 or something. I think. Yeah, she was older.
Yeah, yeah, that was definitely unfortunate.
Olivia fought cancer for nearly 30 years.
Yes.
She gave it a good run. So, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, every day above ground is a good day.
Absolutely.
But anyway.
But underwater, okay.
So say again, Richard?
But underwater is okay.
I often find myself feeling like I'm underwater, but
would you like my?
It's all relative. I could do it for scuba, yeah, or maybe I might want heliox or something like that, something a bit more exotic. Because for me, it's only the depth that varies. I always feel like I'm underwater, but never mind. It's all good.
I'm going to go, lads.
Cool. All right, Jared. Take care. We might wind it up very shortly anyway. Take care, Jared. See you, mate. See you on the weekend.
Yeah,
see you, Jared.
No worries.
See you, mate.
I'll see you all on the weekend. I'll see you on the weekend, Pete. I'll be there to help you MC.
Awesome.
Any questions or anything you get stuck with, just throw to me and I'll direct them to the overhead department and forward exit and back exit. So.
Very good.
So you guys see you, Chapman, washing the dishes. And see Joe.
Oh, salute.
Everyone's
snap it out.
See George.
Snap it up.
Well, since everyone's going, are there any last drinks before we go? Otherwise, we can wind this up slightly early, but that's okay because we've done our 3 hours, which we've promised.
Did I miss something? What's happening on the weekend?
Joe's going to come to an event.
Sorry, my computer died, and so I gave up working, and I just went and did other stuff instead. Waited for it to charge up. So I missed about 2 hours of tonight's call, I think.
So yeah, in short, 1 p.m. on Saturday at the Swan Valley in the old Elma.
Yeah, the Elmer's one.
Yeah, it's now called Valley Social. So yeah, we'll have a whole marquee to ourselves, American barbecue, lots of Teslas on the lawn, and yeah, all that good stuff.
There you go.
1 p.m. Right. I've got lots of other things on the other end of the river, not way up there. So
there's charging stations.
River bias, Joe.
We have to charge if we go to the Swan Valley. It's miles away.
Look, Joe, I'll make you a deal. You get to the Swan Valley and we'll charge your car for free. All right? Is that going to get you across the river?
Yeah, we will need a charge to get to where we need to be next. Okay, we'll see if we can make it.
The first destination charger that was placed anywhere or installed anywhere in Perth was in the Swan Valley. So
I know.
They've got charges there, haven't they, Pete? Destination charges there?
Not at Valley Social, but the plan is to put some in. So
yeah, he's going to put
yeah.
And the charger at Ross's discount is still currently offline, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
It's awaiting a power supply replacement. And because it's a tritium unit, it's taking its sweet time to be delivered.
Well, the part will soon be coming from the US, which is just for an Australian company.
The problem is it's a switch mode. It's just for all intents and purposes, it's a 12-volt switch mode power supply. It's like a PC power supply. Well, smaller than that. But frustratingly, for some reason, they specified a medical spec one. So it's expensive and it's hard to get.
Yeah, right.
Even though you can actually just use anything. In fact, John Edwards, the tritium that I bought back from Kaiguna on that awesome 3-day 1100k return trip, 2000 whatever kilometer return trip, John just hooked up a car battery to it and it worked perfectly. Just needs 12 volts. But anyway, that's going to be fixed shortly. I think the power supply is literally on its way. It's been ordered for the last few weeks and it is finally arriving. But yeah, so sorry, Joe, that one's going to be out of commission. So for you, well, apart from Caranup, which is a bit out of the way, is Coburn working? No, that's got a 4 on it too. So that looks like that's not working either. Not working. Although Sarah reckons it was working. That's kind of a bit weird. Anyway, so there is Bentley, which is a 20 kilowatt charger, and that'll charge your car at about 150 k's an hour, which could be an alternative if you don't go to Caranup. But I mean, Caranup could be a pleasant place to go if you're doing a bit of
a long way round.
It is a long way round. I mean, look, the Mandurah, well, no, that's a bit south of you, but the Mandurah supercharger will be coming sometime, next quarter, which is sort of good news, as well as the Lancelin one. But they haven't listed the Albany one for reasons best known to Tesla, and they've removed the Central Perth one as a pin. But anyway, so that's the main alternatives, Joe. You can't use Midland. Oh, there's also CD Dodds. No, they'll be closed because that's only open during weekdays, isn't it?
You've not made it very user friendly for people south of the river, have you?
No, I'm not really selling it to you at the moment. There is McDonald's at Southern River, but that's kind of a bit off the beaten track too. And Coburn's closed. So yeah, I'm sorry, all the Southerners, me included, can
and Robin as well.
Oh, and you could use, and I think the one in RAC headquarters, that's got a 6, which sounds to me like it won't work. Yeah, it won't work on a Model 3. What? Well, using Chatamo, I had to call charge for. You can't use Chatamo in a Model 3. Anyway. Oh, Nissan Leaf. You have to. Yeah, right.
He's talking to the Nissan Leaf.
I think he's talking to himself, putting a few entries, being helpful. But yeah, so we might see you there, Joe, or not. I unfortunately can't make it, but for reasons I've disclosed earlier. But anyway, it's all good. Hey, it's getting on. It's nearly, actually, Pete's going to have an awesome night's sleep tonight. You'll be able to get up for the close of the market in the morning, first thing, Pete. Yeah. What's Tesla doing? Is it going to be up for you, or is it going to be down? Oh my God, it's going up. It's going up. Oh, okay, good Tesla, I guess. Says he wants to buy them cheap. So Pete, how would Red RAC at head works? At head. Which one's head? Which one's head, George? You mean headquarters? No. So you've confirmed that just recently, George.
Yeah, George just said head office.
Yep. Yeah, head office. Yeah. Okay. Because it hasn't been working for a while. Oops. Go back to there. Nissan Leaf, but that's Chatamo. EV6. That was the 5th of August. Not working. Port D. Oh, unless there's 2 units and maybe one of them's working and the other one's not. Maybe that's the issue. I guess the problem is that you've got to fight with the Audi e-trons. Yep. With the Audi e-trons, the Mercedes EQCs, and the I-Paces, I think, because they have free charging, unlimited free charging. So they just clog up the charges there, unfortunately. Oh, okay. So CCS, it works well. That's cool. So you could try, headquarters, Joe, or UWA. The 50 kilowatt, because the other one doesn't work at UWA. At just the that unit. In fact, that unit is the one that
Mark McGowan was at.
Mark McGowan took a photo, an awesome photo with the this one here, because he doesn't know the difference, and nor should he. He's a politician. He's not a EV driver.
They always have to hold it in there for the photo, don't they? Like, it's not a petrol bag. You don't have to hold it.
I know.
That annoys me.
It is super annoying because, it just shows they don't comprehend that you just click it and leave it. That's it. And I guess it gives him something to do. It sort of gives him direction because otherwise he'd have to fold his arms or point at it. Just like Bill Johnston is looking very considered there, and Reese Whitby is just trying to work out how to slink off the camera. Well, anyway, middle-aged men in suits. It's all good. All right, Pete, how would you end out our 104th episode?
Yep. As always, stay safe, stay sustainable, stay ahead of the curve.
And the best way to do that is buy a Tesla, join TOCWA, and ask us anything about accelerating the world's transition to sustainable energy. On that great note, on an awesome Wednesday with Valley Social on the weekend and another Ask Us Anything next week, take care, everyone. Look forward to seeing you next time on Ask Us